Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Go for it, mate.
Go.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zedos Gang Podcast and the What's the Damage podcast.
We're doing a little crossover episode.
Yeah, simulcast.
Simulcast.
Yeah.
Is that a copyrighted phrase?
I don't know, but I'm sure I heard it somewhere, so I don't think I can.
Fuck it, it's yours now.
Has anyone ever done that before?
Simulcast?
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone.
I'm sure they
that
maybe have done, but.
We can't claim this as being the first of anything because I never heard.
How about you claim it's first as you know?
It's the first as we know in the UK, on a podcast to do a simulcast. So
with completely unrelated topics.
Yeah.
And What's the Damage podcast? You are joined by Leo Van-Dammage, and that's me. And I will usually get a guest on, or I have had you guys on before, and we just talk about bullshit or whatever. But, you know, if there is a topic at hand we will talk about, movies or whatever, then I'm a big lover of film. So, guys, for my fans, this will be more of a movie, that'll be movie related.
I've cut the amount that we're talking about down, so it's not too heavy.
Yeah. But maybe we can talk about whatever. And then at the same time, for fans of Zedos Gang, I apologise for the swearing.
At this point, it doesn't matter because this guy swears like a nun, anyway. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Sacha does swear, yeah. But okay, cool. So so we're recording live at the same time, mine and your podcast. We're recording right now. So take it away. Sorry, Joe.
So welcome back to the Zedos Gang Podcast. As you just heard, that was the Leo Van-Dammage of the Van-Dammage pod.
This motherfucker can't even get.
No. I said it before. What's the Damage podcast? That's who you just heard talking there, and we also have Sacha Allari from the Zedos Gang Podcast and the other podcast we do. Actually, no, just the Zedos Gang Podcast.
Just the other guy. God, Joe, you need to
get with the times, man. Get with the times. That was so last year.
And so anyway, I just want to put a shout out to Tom Christian, who did the podcast last week. We did our first video podcast, and just like to thank him for turning up and being such a good host.
He was so funny. We should bring him back.
Oh yeah, we'll get him back.
I want to meet this guy.
Sorry,
I want to meet this dude.
Tom, I know you're listening. Leo wants you on his podcast.
Yeah, come on my podcast. You can make me laugh and salivate all over my mics.
He was Agent Nash in 24.
Yes, he was.
I've never watched 24.
Oh, fair
enough.
Hold on. Let me start again. I watched first season of 24.
Oh, okay.
And
it wasn't.
And I needed to shit.
All right.
And
fair enough.
I needed to. I thought I tried to. I gave it a chance.
I'll give you that chance because you gave it the full season. But you're wrong.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
It's not your thing.
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
I get you.
So Agent Nash, who the fuck is Agent Nash?
Agent Nash was an FBI agent in season 9.
Recent series.
You mean 8?
Yeah.
Oh, so the newest series that's just come out.
Yeah. No. That's
the
season
London one.
Oh, sorry. No, season 8. Sorry, that's the one that still has Jack Bauer in it. This one, this new season, the one with
in London.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
The main guy.
No. He wasn't. No. So
I don't know who you're talking about. Then I'm sorry. I saw the main guy on the posters. That's all I
know. Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So hold on. Show me a picture of this dude.
Okay.
On the interwebs. Show me a picture.
Tom or the
Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. Tom, the guy whose balls you're licking right now.
Okay.
Currently, Joseph is licking your balls, Tom.
This Tomcat looks like Tomcat. The most delectable Tomcat.
That's Jeff Goldblum.
That's Jeff Goldblum. The incomparable Jeff Goldblum.
I'm glad he's back in films.
Do you know what just brought it both Independence Day, though, right? For sure, you need to acknowledge that.
I'd rather not acknowledge that, but I have to because
that's real shit.
Oh, that's Tom.
Thomas Nash.
Is that Justin?
No, it's Tom.
Oh, that's Tom.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Tom, I didn't call you Justin.
In that photo, he looks like Justin.
Thomas
Nash,
he
doesn't.
I tell you what. Thomas Nash.
Sorry, Tom.
Tom, I'm really sorry for saying this, but you look like a grizzled version from the kid from the Dragon Ball Evolution film. Bring up a picture of that guy and then put them next to each other next to that picture, and I guarantee you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So just open up another tab and then type in Dragon Ball Evolution. Tom, I'm really sorry. I
love these tangents, man.
Trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah, but I tangent on my post. That's how I roll. Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't know what the actor's name is. Horrible actor.
Wait, isn't this that fucking awful like?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you meant a cartoon version, but no, you went live action, motherfucker.
Bring the images up. First one on top left. Oh, whichever one. Yeah, that one. That top left one. Yeah, there.
Oh well, no one's going to see what we're talking about here, but Tom, you figure it out.
I don't think you look like the
Zoom into the picture. Zoom into the picture. Zoom in. Right, hold on.
Oh, fucking hell.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. We do apologise.
It keeps taking me to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, to the Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, because it's that awful.
Okay, we get it.
No, you don't. Trust me.
I get it.
I can't zoom into this.
Oh,
that's as big as it gets.
Google Chrome. There we go. Tell me they don't look alike.
No.
Joseph.
The eyes maybe.
Eyes in the nose and the eyebrows and the forehead.
Well, yeah, you're just describing a guy.
Yeah. You look like a guy.
Anyway, I think he looks like him. Hey, Tom Nash, Mr. Nash, you are a good-looking chap. Anyway.
Yeah, he's going to be the next Bond.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. No, all power to the guy if he's going to be the next Bond. Brilliant. I can't fucking wait. He's obviously an actor.
Yes, he is an actor, yes.
So yeah, Tom, hit me up. I'm happy to you can come on my podcast and we can do it together. And who knows, I might let you impregnate my girlfriend again then.
Wow, that's an offer you can't refuse.
Give me good looking children. To be fair, I just gave birth to a child.
Wow.
Well, I didn't physically.
This went dark.
2 days ago, I just had a child.
Congratulations, sir.
Man.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. With the congratulations, guys. Come on.
Congratulations, sir. But so did D-Lan.
Yes, I did see this. D-Lan did, and I sent him a congrats as well.
And we haven't had that cat on this podcast in a very, very long time.
He works
since number 2,
right?
Since episode 2.
Yeah.
Wow, we should get him back.
Yeah. Well, I can't see that being possible at any time.
That's true.
I make time.
No. Well. It's hard to get D out at the best of times.
It's hard to get. I know what you mean.
But anyway.
Tangent over.
How's D not been on your podcast?
For that exact reason that Joe just said.
Fair enough.
He is a hard guy to get at the best of times.
Okay, so on from the tangent onto the trailers that dropped this week, and so, well, some of them dropped a week ago, but yeah, we're just going into it anyway. So, okay, so the first trailer we're going to be reviewing is. I
have to say there are some atrocious films on this list.
There are,
and there are some good films on this list.
I didn't choose these trailers.
No, I did.
You chose them. Okay, so the
only
first
because they are so bad, but you know.
So the first one is The Recall. Now, for me, it starts off kind of like Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yeah,
Cabin in the Woods is good.
Yeah,
this is not a good film.
It kind of reminds you of like Cabin in the Woods meets like Evil Dead 57.
57.
But oh, guys, how the mighty has fallen. How the mighty have fallen. From Simon Phoenix to this. What the fuck is Wesley Snipes really needs to pay those IRS bills, huh? He
It
must
looks
be
that
really
way.
desperate for it. The last film I can remember seeing him in, apart from Expendables, was Brooklyn's Finest.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
With Don Cheadle and
that was
a few
a
other
bad
unknown
film.
people.
That was a bad film.
Yeah, I mean that's the last thing I remember seeing him in.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't great in Expendables, like I didn't think.
Well, he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't.
He was in it for like 2 scenes.
Maybe, yeah. I sometimes think maybe my vision of what Wesley Snipes is skewed from the past. Like,
because
I think I have like a nostalgia skew of him because I've seen him in other stuff, like older stuff, and I think, and even like now with fresh eyes, I kind of look at it and go, that wasn't that good.
But the thing that was his was Blade. Blade was him. That's essential.
Yeah,
that
the
was
role
essentially
was made for him.
Yeah,
or he was made for the role, whichever one came first. But I mean, apart from that,
I've got nothing to say about this film. It's trash.
I thought it was Skyline too, but that's a separate movie that Sash knows about. I let him know about it the other day. You were not happy about that, do you remember? It's in post-production.
Yeah, thanks for bringing back bad memories, Leo.
Yeah, Dread 2 is still...
Yeah. Well, okay. RJ Mitty's got work. He loved his work from Breaking Bad, I see. Yeah, this looks fucking crazy. The minute the alien shit just dropped, I was like, okay, cool. I thought maybe it was like Wesley Snipes, like some crazy guy, and maybe he was killing these kids. Obviously not.
Is this a thing, though? Is this like a thing that people are taking seriously as a movie, or is this a trailer that randomly came out?
I think some young upstart got lucky, and some studio needed to burn some cash.
Who's the studio?
There's lots of studios. It's not just one.
Okay,
there's like
it's filmed in Canada. There's that.
There's like 9 of them.
It's like a TV movie. Fuck this movie. Move next. I don't think anybody wants to talk about it.
Do you want to talk about this one anymore? Because I've got nothing to say about it.
I think everyone's just kind of written this one off. But it's there for you guys to check out.
Do you know what the weird thing is? What if it ends up being fucking good?
But hey, Wesley Snipes got work, baby. Wesley's got work, baby.
Okay, so the next trailer on the list is Once Upon a Time in Venice, and which stars Jason Momoa and Bruce Willis.
I pointed this out to you earlier before. I don't know if you'd seen the trailer before I pointed it out.
No, you're the one that discovered this, dude.
And I saw this on IMDb.
Oh, and for Mank Johansson.
And Cal Penn. Randomly.
And John Goodman.
So I was the one that mentioned this to Satch, and I said, hey, this is basically if John Wick got old. When John Wick gets old.
But John Wick is old. He's 50.
Yeah,
51.
Yeah, but you know how Keanu's a vampire, so... but John Wick gets old, and they steal his dog instead of killing his dog this time. I don't know. It's I'll still watch it though because I think Jason Momoa is quite funny in this. Like he looks quite funny in the trailer. And do you know what really gets me is Bruce Willis has done a string of films. What have you lost, dude?
I think I lost my phone.
How did you lose your phone?
I don't know. I had it while Wayne was here, but.
There it is, dude. It's right there.
Where?
Next to you.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So, yeah. Bruce Willis has done a group of films that kind of, like, go straight to DVD. He did a film with, like, 50 Cent.
He did?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the DVD cover. He's on the front of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'd never buy it. And I wouldn't buy it because... And he did another one with Ryan Felipe as well, I think.
Wow, Ryan Felipe. Oh,
Yeah.
freaking hell. What a blast from the past.
But he's done like a bunch of films that have gone straight to DVD. Either he has like a small part in it, and they're just using his face to sell the movie. I don't know. They're like, oh, starring Bruce Willis, but Bruce Willis is in it for 2 minutes. Like, you know how they did for the Expendables? Like Bruce Willis in the first one, like he's not actually in it. He's in it for like a minute or so.
Yeah.
In total film time.
You know what really sells this? The movie poster.
Yeah, I will actually watch this because I like Jason. I'm liking what Jason Momoa does. Like the work that he's doing is pretty legit, quite good. Like he did a really underrated TV show called The Red Road.
Yeah,
like 3 seasons or 2 seasons of that. That was really good.
Okay.
I like him. I think he's a pretty versatile actor, and this is showing it because he's kind of doing like a hard boy, but it's a real big comedy act. Like it's a good comedy show role on it. I'll watch it. I know you don't like this trailer, but I'd watch this movie. It looks like it's going to make a lot of money because it's a good comedy, little kind of weird, off the beaten path kind of film.
All right.
Oh,
That's something to call it.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see
What would you call it?
Trash bag.
Nice.
We'll have to see. I mean, like, it's directed by Mark and Rob Cullen, the writers of Cop Out.
I like Cop Out.
I'm not really a big fan of Cop Out, but
Well, that's okay.
but you know what? From
You like
Cop Out-
Tusk, so
well, okay. From Cop Out, let me say this. This kind of looks like a kind of crime thing with a bit of joke in there. If it's anything like Cop Out, it's probably going to be kind of the same kind of vein. But I'm not really expecting much from this because, like, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I mean, like, Jason Momoa intrigues me. I mean, like, he's always great in whatever he does. It's just Bruce just looks bored, man. He looks bored throughout.
Mate, it's a paycheck.
I know.
The guy's got retirement on the mind, so he's just like, hey man, I need to make more fucking money.
Show up in here.
Yippee-ki-yay. That's it.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother bang.
I've noticed that Fox have stopped talking about that Die Hard kind of back in the 70s
Good.
thing. I don't know how.
What?
Oh, you don't know about the Die Hard thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
What?
they were going to do like a Die Hard prequel sequel. So they're going to cast some young upstart as John McClane.
Who?
I don't know. They hadn't cast him
They
yet.
were going to recast John.
Oh.
He was still going to be John McClane, but they were going to recast someone as a young John
He was
McClane.
like going to be like a narrator or something.
do you wanna know
Back
some
in
shit
my
about-
day.
Do you want to know some shit about Bruce Willis? Bruce Willis was in a CGI cartoon when he was younger called Bruno.
I remember Bruno.
Shit was on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
Okay.
And subsequently, he did the voice for it. And then subsequent to that, he also is known as Bruno in his blues.
His blues band. Yeah.
There's actually a really cool clip I came across once of him playing blues on the harmonica with B.B. King.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool, to be fair. It's on YouTube, but...
Yeah, I mean, Bruce has always been a musical kind of guy. I mean, like, I remember when they were filming Planet Terror, there's a documentary on that whole thing. He'd go out, shoot a film with Robert Rodriguez, and then him and Rodriguez would go play in a band at, like, one of the local bars from where they were filming, kind of thing. He's, like, really big into music.
For sure you would pay to see that, though.
Has his own albums and shit.
Yeah, cool.
I know that.
Under the synonym of Bruno.
Bruno.
Like, Bruno plays blues, Bruno is sad. I don't know, I'm just making things up.
But anyway, yeah.
That conversation was better than the trailer.
Yeah.
So what's next? What film you got next?
Okay, so the next trailer is Score, a film music documentary, and this is about
Score.
and
this looks like it's gonna score well.
Yes.
Because I like this. What do you think, Joe? You're a music guy. You're a big score kind of guy.
Yeah, I like movie scores, and so this is a documentary about how the musical scores have changed. Well, how to make one and how it's changed for the years of film, and because I like listen to soundtracks. This is a film that will fascinate me. I anyone that's into film and into soundtracks will be fascinated by this documentary. Just going through the process of developing one when the film's being made to the end process of making it fit to the final cut. And yeah, you get your directors in here talking about how they worked with the composers. And the big cheese in this for me is John Williams. I wish they had Alan Silvestri and who's the guy that did Batman, the original Batman?
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
They do have Danny Elfman. Yeah.
I did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that completely.
He comes up in a moment.
I mean, even as much as I don't. Hans Zimmer is a bit of a hit and miss for me. A lot of people like Hans Zimmer, but what a lot of people don't know is that Hans Zimmer collaborates with a lot of people, but no one ever talks about the people who collaborate, they just see it as Hans Zimmer. But I'm not gonna. This is not.
Who was the guy that actually did the Dark Knight theme? Because it wasn't him. It was.
It was a collaboration.
Yeah, wasn't it
was
Thomas Newton Howard?
James Newton Howard.
James Newton Howard, that's his name, and he actually wrote the Dark Knight theme, and like Hans Zimmer gets all the credit.
He gets all the credit for everything,
and it's like, yo, what the fuck?
But anyway, I'm not here to.
I will say this: like,
it's
head. Important. It is important, movie-wise. Like, sometimes you forget like how important music is. To a scene, like how it like can just touch you, not in the naughty place.
60% of the experience, probably even 80.
I would say 80. Yeah, I definitely would say 80. Yeah. If the music's shit, it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd still say, I would even say, I would say 60, and you still need sound effects as well. Without sound effects, I mean, you can watch a film, but it loses some narrative without sound effects sometimes. But it's give and take. Yeah,
but I definitely feel the majority of it anyway, across the board, is the score. I mean, think of like James Bond, for example. Mission Impossible. Like, they're known for the music. Like, you know, it's not a James Bond theme tune if it doesn't have dun 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 dun. It's not a it's not a Mission Impossible theme tune if it doesn't have
the Mission
Impossible theme tune. That's completely down to how it's recognised in the score.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's a massive part. I've heard pieces of music in films that when the music plays and the way it's delivered to a moment has made me want to cry.
Yeah.
And I've gone, wow, like it just collaborates together. Such a powerful piece. But music has that power over you anyway.
Yeah.
Like
music is emotion. That's what it is. And so
like when you're watching a film, you're watching somebody like emote. That's a composer emoting to what they see in front of them and writing it, and they're putting it down on paper, and that's really important. I can't wait to see this. I'm really interested in see how it plays out and hearing different points of view from different directors and composers.
What about you, Sach?
Yeah, I think you just hit on the head there. I mean, like,
pretty good at that.
Just looks good, man. Good.
Okay, well, on from that onto
fist pumping.
Yeah,
a friggin' great movie. So, Terminator 2: Judgment Day is getting a re-release in 3D, and it's had a 4K master along with a Dolby Atmos remaster. It's had the works. This film's going to look better than the last Terminator film that came out. Was it last year or the year before that?
And we noticed one little thing they made a change.
Yeah.
So if anybody's seen T2,
like a billion times,
you'll know that the motorbike chase scene. There's a bit where the stunt double for Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he rides onto the LA River or whatever that bit is underneath, and he's chasing after John Connor and the T-1000. There's that really bad bit where it just doesn't look like Arnie at all. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, that's a stunt double right there.
Yeah.
And they've changed that. And I think that was probably the only blemish in an otherwise flawless movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just basically digitally face replaced it.
And they've just fixed it. And it looks legit. Like, it doesn't look like they fucked it. It looks legit, like, oh, okay, this... Because you don't need to remaster this movie. You don't need to do what Star Wars did, and touch up the graphics, and change... You don't need to do none of that shit, like, to this film. So James Cameron's job is like, let me just make it bright, clear up the image, but I don't need to touch any of the actual generated images. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you just said he did just there.
No, but apart from that, he doesn't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
His job's done. Like, he did it.
Oh, yeah,
he did it
totally.
Fucking 20 plus years ago. Like, that's
30
it.
years.
Is it 30?
It's coming 30.
30 years. He did it fucking 30 years ago. He didn't need to do that. No, it can't be 30 years. This came out in my lifetime. Yeah, and I'm not even 30 yet.
Well, 20 something, 27 years.
Either way.
Either
way. Look at that. Just look at the fucking T-1000, man. Like.
But yeah,
shit's on everything.
I mean, like, let's put it this way: this is one of the best science fiction films ever made, hands down. Okay, thank God it's coming back to the big screen, because you know what? I mean, all the people that I know to celebrate this film,
I can't wait
and watch this film on the biggest screen possible, because it's a film that deserves that.
Here's
know
what's
what I
going to piss me off, though.
What?
If I watch it with somebody I know, like a bunch of people I know, I'm going to have to be like, listen, guys, you need to shut the fuck up. I know you guys are going to want to mouth and talk about the words and say the lines before the lines come out.
I think if you go opening day, you're going to get that audience.
I'm not going to go.
You're going to get that audience that are in the same mindset. Like that time when we went to see the raid. When those guys
when we were just chilled the fuck out.
Yeah, everyone's like, look, kids, you can stay, but if you're going to chat, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then they left.
Because at the end of the day, like, if I watch this, I know what the lines are. I don't need you to say them. I want to hear Arnie say them.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So when he's like, get down, like, you know, I don't want to hear fucking Joe Bob say it. Fuck off. I want to hear Arnie say it, you prick.
But yeah, the other thing I'd mentioned, like, look,
it's how clear that looks. Look how fucking clear that looks.
This is like a 3D conversion. And you know what?
It's a 4K master.
Yeah, and like nothing but the best, because like it's James Cameron. You know what I mean? He's not going to pull out a 3D conversion and have it be a botch job. I guarantee this is going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. Even regardless whether you're a 3D fan or not, it's Terminator 2. Just go watch it. And you know what? This is a good trailer.
I can't. So Joe's like hitting through to see whether or not he can see any remaster, any touched up work on the. Like, it looks so good. Look at that.
Yeah.
And this was 1991. This is before Jurassic Park.
But this is why James Cameron is one of the best fucking directors in the business, because he sets the benchmark. You know what I mean? He sets the benchmark. The reason that films are the way they are is because of people like him. Not him exclusively, but if you look at the way cinema has worked, he has been at the forefront. He was there with The Abyss. He was there with this. He was there with Titanic. And he was there with Avatar.
I gotta say, though, a lot of credit goes to the guys at LILM. I mean, I mean, Dennis Moran.
That's Industrial Light and Magic for people who know.
Dennis Moran, John Knoll. John Knoll created the liquid metal effect. For those that don't know John Knoll, he's the creator of Photoshop. He's also the guy that came up with the story for Rogue One, because he's mainly like a George Lucas guy. So he works on all the Star Wars. But yeah, like the effect work that went into this movie is just so
it's one of the things that you don't need to mention it. Like,
and
you
it
don't.
still holds up even to now, man.
For sure.
I mean, like, you know what? One of my best moments in this film is in the director's cut, where you've got him getting the chip out of his head. And they have that whole
twin scene.
Yeah, don't spoil the film for people who haven't seen it.
Even the way
listen. If you haven't fucking seen it since 1991, fuck you. This is gonna.
I'm with Leo right here.
I don't even need to give you a spoiler alert. This film came out 20 plus years ago. It's your fault if you didn't watch it. Don't be like, hey man, you spoiled Terminator 2 for me.
Totally.
Listen, mate, fuck you. Come to my house, find where I live, and we'll talk it out face to face. If you want, we'll have a fight in the car park. But otherwise, go eat a bowl of dicks, because I ain't spoiling nothing. This film came out 20 plus years ago. Fuck you.
But that whole sequence where they have that conversation, but the whole taking the chip out of his head, like, that isn't even CG. That's like a body double, her twin sister, the kid's stunt double, all. Oh my god! All choreographed.
It was
amazing.
The moving parts and the logistics of that are just ridiculous.
I know.
Look,
right?
I know what Joe's doing. Joe's doing is clipping through every scene he can see, and he's going to struggle to find something that's been touched up graphically, because they don't need to. They, like I said, they've probably, apart from that one thing, they've probably just. You're looking for the bit, right?
Oh no, I know where it is.
Okay.
I'm just because it's. I've got the Blu-ray downstairs, and I've watched that a few times, and I'm just amazed how much. This isn't even the 4K we're looking at. This is the 1080p. Yeah. It's not even 1080p, and it looks pristine.
Legit,
So I'm fascinated.
Do you have a 4K
it's gonna
TV?
Look like. No, I don't.
I do, and I'm fucking. Oh, I can't wait. So that's why I was gonna buy this the other day, because I was like, okay, I'm not rebuying, because I kind of I want to lighten my collection, because I've got so much.
But you want the definitive version.
Yeah, so I was looking at it, and I was on Amazon, and I was like, oh, okay, they got T2. Like, I like T1, but T2 is my baby, right? So I kind of don't give a shit about T1.
It's an Alien and Aliens thing. I like Aliens, but Aliens is the one.
So I was like, okay, I want to see T2. I could just Kaiser Soze, not Kaiser Soze, Caesar Palace here or whatever. But I want to own it. I want to get the Blu-ray. I want to sit down and watch it. And I almost bought it, and then I saw this. Literally, I think the day after, I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait. Let me see what else comes out, or have a look, see if I can find a better deal, because it was quite expensive. I saw this, and I was like, wow, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait for the new 4K to come out, and that's when I'll buy it. Because it looks beautiful. You're right. It looks pristine.
Yeah, I don't want to keep faffing on about this, but in terms of I bought a new TV, but
sorry, hold on.
Hello.
Working. Yeah, we'll do. So we have guests.
No. Come in.
You have been interrupted by Joseph Brother.
Second. Oh, right. Guys, carry on without me.
Yeah, that's cool. We're good. We're good. We've just lost Joe temporarily.
Shall we just talk about T2, or shall we move on to the next trailer?
Talk about the next trailer.
I guess we're going to the next trailer, guys, and that trailer is...
I don't remember, do you?
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower.
That looks good. I haven't read the book. Have you read the books?
I've not read the books. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, just based on the trailer, like, look, it's got Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. In my opinion, two of the best acting talents that we have out there today. Like, literally, these two are the top heavyweights.
Yeah, I agree.
At the moment, currently. And, you've got one a good guy, one a bad guy. What's not to like? I mean, like, the concept looks really nice. I love the fact that he's such a badass with loading that gun and shooting people.
Yeah.
I was like,
sick.
what the hell?
I think it's about time that we saw like a decent fucking, like a decent funded Stephen King film.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got like elements of it in Stranger Things, and you've got, a lot of, you've had like Stand By Me, which wasn't a big budget movie. The new It film, which is coming out, which is a big budget horror film
version of it.
But I mean, like, you got two great, as you said, two massively fantastic actors. You got a good script. Like I said, I haven't read Dark Tower, but I've heard a lot of things about it. This looks like a young adult movie.
I don't think it's a young adult movie.
It looks like it's going to be a way better than that. Like, I'm looking forward to this. I fucking love me some Idris Elba. So I was saying when we were watching this, I find it quite difficult. I don't think I can remember a film with him in it that I don't like.
Yeah.
As in, like, as an actor, like he did a very, I think it's When a Stranger Calls or something. I can't remember what it was. It was like something about he was like a murderer and he's stranded or something.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it was called, man. But anyway, he did a film where he's like some killer, and he turns up at some girl's house, and he was like wet, and he asked if he could come in, and because he had crashed his car or some shit, and then he tries to kill her. I don't know. Either way, in that shit, he was good. Like, and that was a Screen Gems movie, like one of those black people films that don't need to be made, like,
Well, this
like Think Like a Man or whatever, like as good as that film was, those kind of movies. That sort of genre of film. But yeah.
I mean, I know it's based on a series of books. I also know that this film has been in development for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I mean, like Ron Howard was attached to direct it forever. He's still attached to this project. He's a producer. He's not directing it. It's being directed by Nikolaj Arcel. He did.
Don't know.
Yeah.
That's the noise I make when I don't know who anybody is.
Okay. Well, I don't know what he's done as a director, but as a writer, he wrote the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
No, the remake.
Yeah, there's two.
There's two remakes?
Yeah, there's one they well, not re... Well,
sorry, the remake. There's only one remake.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about they made two films.
You're talking about the original, I'm talking about the remake.
They came out like the same time as well, right?
No, they didn't.
Did they not?
No, the original came out like 3 years before the David
Right,
so,
okay, my bad.
But, this guy did a Royal Affair, Truth About Men, King's Game. So he's got a couple of films under his belt, but I mean, like, this is quite a big scale thing, really. If I remember correctly, they were making this like 3 movies and TV series in between. I don't know whether that's the plan still, because this was going to be some huge thing.
I think it still will be a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if this film goes under the radar. It will actually, I'll be honest with you, it'll fucking piss me off. If this film goes under the radar, I'll be upset.
I don't think it will.
It looks like it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I don't think it will go under the radar.
Like,
I think there's a little bit of buzz about it.
Depends when they release it as well.
Funnily enough, a friend of ours, Adrian Daly, he was actually the first guy I got in contact with over this trailer. I was like, yo, dude, what do you think? Because he's a huge fan of this source material. And he was like, I don't know. He was kind of like a little bit muddled a little bit, mainly because of...
so he's read it?
Yeah, he's read it. He's read it quite thoroughly. He would say he's a little bit muddled, mainly because like there's certain characters that aren't in the trailer that should be in certain aspects of the trailer, where they are in the book. And apparently they're quite integral. I've not read any of that, so I really don't know myself.
Yeah.
So fans of the book might be a little bit like, ooh, what's this at the moment?
Yeah, but they always change shit up, man. How many times have you fucking seen a movie and they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make integral changes for our fucking plot.
No,
and it's got nothing to do with the book. And you're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Where's all this shit? Like, okay, like Watchmen. Watchmen, like, I get
the ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the ending though, not the whole thing. It's not like they changed the
not
whole
integral.
thing.
I mean, to be fair, you got to give fucking, what's his name, some props.
You got to
Zack
give him
Snyder's.
huge props.
He made a film which they said they could never make. And he made it. And that film was in development for years. And he was like, alright, I'm going to fucking... He put the logistics together and did it. Fair fucking play. I watched the thing about it the other day, that's why. And I completely forgot that they had changed it. Because I own Watchmen, but I haven't read it for... I can't remember. Probably about 15 years.
Right, okay.
I probably haven't read it. And then I saw the movie, and then when I saw this thing, I went, oh yeah, there's a fucking giant octopus.
Yeah.
At the end of this movie, like, at the end of the book, like, where was that? And that's a huge thing. Like, where was that in
Aren't they doing what's that, an animated movie on it? They're redoing it as an animated movie. You know how DC do their straight to... They're doing that with Watchmen, actually, currently.
Really?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, man, that's good.
So I hope they keep the same art style as well.
Yeah, I do like that animated stuff. They're fucking knocking it out the park,
Oh, they are, man.
They really are. Like, what was the last one they did? Oh, shit. Dark Avengers or something like that?
Oh, yeah. The one with,
it had Constantine,
and it had...
Dead Man.
Swamp Thing?
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Their Swamp Thing, because I know Marvel's got their own Swamp Thing, don't they? There's two Swamp Things.
Are there?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right to me, bro.
I don't know, man. We got IMDb up in here.
I think the Swamp Thing that you're talking about, the movie.
I think that's a Marvel one.
That's a DC Swamp
You sure?
Thing. Yeah. It's the same DC.
I'm pretty sure it was the Marvel one.
No, dude. I'm pretty sure it's the DC one. I could be wrong, but they look almost exactly the same.
That's why I said it's there too. You know, like how you've got Captain Marvel. I swear
and
there
then Miss
was
Marvel.
Yeah.
But you got two Captain Marvels because essentially Shazam is Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then they got Captain Marvel in that. Okay. Hold fire. We're just going to check our facts here.
Fact checking.
Because we want to be...
wait a minute. Okay, first thing that comes up is the DC one.
Yeah, because it is the DC one. I'm so sure. Are you not thinking of the Toxic Avenger?
What am I thinking of? What's the Marvel one? Hang on. Swamp Thing... Marvel. Oh, wait. There is a Marvel one.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's it. No, you're talking about the Man Thing.
I'm thinking about Man Thing, aren't
You're talking Man Thing, and he lives in a swamp. But he's not the Swamp Thing. The Swamp Thing's got almost like a V for a nose.
Okay, right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Kind of like that.
I always get confused with those characters.
Yeah. You're thinking about Man Thing. Basically they're kind of like the same. Look, see when I mean like V, like see how it goes here, bridges over his nose like that.
Yeah.
That's what the Swamp Thing looks like. You know what? I didn't really give Swamp Thing props until I saw him in Injustice. Like, when I read the Injustice stuff. Have you read that?
No, I haven't read the Injustice stuff. I played the video game.
Injustice is like Marvel's, DC's version of Civil War.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
Isn't that when Superman goes crazy?
Yeah, he kills... Superman kills the Joker.
Right, that's right.
Because the Joker tricks him with Scarecrow's gas,
Right.
and makes him think that because he infuses it with kryptonite, and he makes Superman think that Lois Lane is Doomsday.
Right.
And so he takes Doomsday up into space.
Oh shit! So he murders Lois Lane.
And he murders Lois Lane, and Lois Lane's pregnant. Yeah, because it starts off with Superman talking to Batman. He's like, "Oh, I heard his heartbeat."
Yeah, I remember.
And then he says to him,
that,
like, "Do you want to be the the Godfather?" He's like, "Oh, I'd be honored." And they laugh together. And like a few pages later, like Superman's killing Lois Lane, so he killed his baby. And then he goes and, whilst Joker's being interrogated by Batman, he just punches a hole through Joker's body and then kills him. And then that's where like Batman's like, "What the fuck have you done?" And then it just all goes crazy. And basically, Superman's on one side, Batman's on the other side, and Superman don't take no shit. Like he tries to fight Atlantis, and then Arthur, like Aquaman's like, "Nah, not happening." And he goes, "Is it?" So he grabs his team of guys like Captain Marvel and I can't remember who else, and they go underneath Atlantis and lift it and drop it in the Sahara Desert. And he's like, "What now?" And then he's like, "Okay, you win." Like, you've won today, like, fair dues. And then he, like, yeah, it's fucking dark, man. Like, Superman goes dark side, like, big time. He doesn't give a shit. And that's when Constantine comes into play. And, like, there's a bit where there's, like, a fight between, one side has Swamp Thing. And so they're like, okay, you got Swamp Thing, so cool. He brings in Poison Ivy. Because they both control, like, the green element.
Yeah.
So they start fighting.
We've totally gone off point.
No, but we have to, man. Well, fuck it. That's what What's the Damage does.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, I forgot it's a joint podcast here.
We go off point. We go off point.
We completely went off point.
We were talking about Injustice for about 5 minutes. Injustice, the comic book series.
Joe just joined us.
Oh, okay.
Joe's back. So it means the boss is back. So the boss of your podcast, not mine.
Right,
but
yeah.
What did you think of the Dark Tower trailer?
We liked it. You think it's good?
I thought it was shit, man.
I liked it anyway. I thought it was good.
So you didn't like it?
No, I was just fucking with you.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough.
What did you think, though?
I like it. I'm fascinated to see to hear what people who have read the novels think about it.
We mentioned that. You know Adrian Daly?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Adrian is a big fan of the source material.
Oh, he's gonna hate this.
And apparently he said that he was very like meh. He's according to Sat. I mean, well, fuck.
He was just a bit meh. He wasn't like too excited. He was just. Like,
I'm not really bothered about people who don't watch films anyway. So
okay.
Whatever. So in terms of for normal audience members,
but that's a bit alienating for the people that play hand over fist. You can't say that for the people that
no,
play
I can actually because
okay.
In terms of when you read a book,
yeah,
you've gone out to buy that book, and sure, you have a narrative there, you've got your characters, yeah. When you make a film, people will write it off straight away without seeing the film.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you don't like the trailer, that's fine, but you can't judge the whole film by what you've seen in the trailer.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, because I know Adrian doesn't really watch films that much. His opinion to he's like a cow talking to me. So,
okay.
Oh right, you moo, fantastic.
That's
whatever.
Shit, man. You just went dark side.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Just call one of my.
I've had enough of people that will judge art and don't really appreciate the art. And
isn't that interesting that you just slouted out the recall without even having seen it?
I mean,
so you're a hypocrite right now.
Sure.
Oh no, I'm not a hypocrite at all.
But
that film, I have no interest in that trailer. Therefore, I have no interest in the film. I don't know if the film's going to be rubbish, but I've got from that trailer no interest.
Right. Okay.
And that's different from slandering the film.
Okay. Okay, we're crossing some T's here and dotting the I's. Like you're finicky, but I think you're right in the line on this one, Joe. But that's alright. I don't give a shit.
Hey man, if the line's a hairpin, I'll write it.
Hey, I'm unapologetically hypocritical. So don't worry about that. Just because I call you hypocrite,
I'll write that hairpin to death.
Yeah, I can see that.
On that rationale, Joe. I mean, like. What makes you say he doesn't watch films? He does watch films.
He does watch films. But
no, he doesn't.
You can't. Well, yeah, I don't know. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh. None of us know the exploits of Mr. Daly outside of what we can only assume. So therefore, we do not know. So how about we just move on?
As I've said since I've realised this, people that are in the video games industry don't know squat about films.
I was in the video games industry.
Yeah, but you also like film.
I know
Okay, stop talking for 1 second.
I know many of our listeners that are in the games industry that listen
how I
to
met
this
Sach
podcast.
is that he started at the cinema and So how I met Sach is that he started working at the cinema and we started talking about film.
Yeah.
And that's how I know you. The video games came after. As far as I'm concerned, you're more of a film guy than a video games guy. Therefore, you get a pass.
Okay.
From the people that I met at Sega, and everyone in the video games industry that I've met don't know fuck all about film. They understand the narrative of film, but they just some of the conversations. I feel like jumping out the top window of any building and diving headfirst into the concrete because I don't want to hear the conversation anymore. It's so progressively stupid, and I become less of a person when I'm around these people. I would rather be raped by many men than stay around people in the video games industry commenting on film.
Statistically speaking, 9 out of 10 people enjoy gang rape as well.
There you go. Good joke, by the way.
I know. Also, speaking of jumping out of windows, just a random comment here. Did you hear about the guy who wanted to prove a point at how confident he was about plate glass windows? He was at top floor building, and he ran to the window and jumped towards it.
Yeah.
And it cracked but never broke. And he was like, "See, told you." And then he went and did it again, and guess what happened? Broke it, went flying out, full pelt, flying out. Ghost like Swayze, the guy died.
Like Swayze.
Ghost like Swayze. And that's a double entendre right there, because not only was he in Ghost, but he's also dead. So so now he's really Ghost.
Well, I didn't mean to insult anyone that's in the video games industry, but you guys don't know shit about film. Stick to what you know.
Okay. Can we move on now from that really uncomfortable subject?
No, Sach needs to. He was going back to.
I got nothing to say.
Sach needs to give a rebuttal.
I didn't insult you.
I know you didn't insult me, but I just kind of feel that you've insulted about 20% of our listeners, or maybe 2% of our listeners.
On a side note, What's the Damage will happily take you if you guys want to come over to our side.
I'm just saying.
If you've ever watched the IGN review, people understand what I mean. One of the worst. If you want to go for bad reviews, IGN on film.
But just because one games news publication may be flawed doesn't mean all of them are.
Yeah.
If you're in the games industry,
I'm playing
you don't know
devil's
what you're
advocate
talking
here.
about.
I'm definitely playing devil. But you don't know that.
Yeah, but
does Hideo Kojima?
Yeah, he does.
Hold on. So Hideo Kojima is in the games industry, but he has factually gone out and said that he takes a lot of his influences from film.
Yeah.
So
he gets a pass because he knows what he's talking about.
Okay. Hold on, Sach. So he gets a pass because you feel like it?
No, because he knows what he's talking about. He understands narrative, character, even what he does with the camera, and it's a virtual camera as well. And he makes it look.
Okay,
really...
okay. What about Shinji Mikami? Does he get a pass as well?
Shinji Mikami's different. He understands
horror making.
He understands. I think he understands the genre to a point. I couldn't criticize him about his film taste, but he knows how to make a game work. I mean,
he also knows how to make horror games based on horror movies.
Yeah,
i.e., Evil Within and
Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil,
which are
horror games. Yeah,
not only like holy grail games, but they're cross-platform. So they literally can be transferred into film, which they have.
Yeah.
And do very well successfully in both narratives.
Yeah.
Would you say that does he get a pass then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So 100% of the game developers I've just mentioned get a pass.
No.
Well, I just mentioned 2, and 100% of them got a pass.
100% of them?
Yeah, 100% of the people I've just mentioned, so 2 of them. If I'd mentioned one, you said one was not going to get past, that's 50%, right? So I've picked out 2 game developers off the top of my head, and both of them get a pass.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so there is a flaw to your comment.
Yeah, I would say, okay.
So you can't just say, so what I'm saying is, or I think what Sacha's point is that, and I think you kind of got to take this one on the chin.
I'll see by the end of the conversation.
Let me finish with it. You got to take this one on the chin. You can't blanket.
I don't actually have to do anything, but carry on.
Just say, you can't blanket statement everybody like that. I completely agree. There are a lot of people that but everyone thinks he's a moron. You know, like that's a completely separate thing.
He's president. How did that happen?
That's a different story. All I'm saying is
that morons could be president.
Yeah, that's fine.
And still totally makes sense to a lot of people.
Morons have been presidents for a long time. But you are an intelligent person. He's not an intelligent person, okay?
And look where I am.
You're an intelligent person. Do you okay. So forget me telling you what you can and cannot do. Do you think it's fair to blanket, like that's like me saying, okay, you're a graphics designer, you know nothing about art.
That's I would say that.
Is that fair for me to say?
It's a fair statement. Because
I wouldn't think so, because I think you're quite an artistic individual.
Okay, fair. Well, thank you for that. But
like, I hold you in high regard.
Yeah.
As a person that I'd be like, man, he's quite an artistic dude. Like, you helped me out with my graphic stuff, and you did shit I can't even do, and you did it in seconds, like it was nothing. And for me, I'm like, that's a clued up artistic dude who knew, he was like, you could do this and you can put things in different areas and put it above the fold. Like, use your own ingenuity to say, hey, I'm going to do it like my way because I think this way works. So hence why you are a designer. Hence why people come to you for work and they give you work and they take your recommendation and they move forward with it. Or you create your own narrative using image and your talents, right? So I would say you, in your own form, are an artist. Also, you hold a podcast. That is a form of art. Yeah? You are expressing yourself through your love of movies, and that is a form of art. I talk a lot of shit on my podcast, but that is what I'm good at, and that's my art. So I think it would be hypocritical for me to say, not hypocritical, that's not the right word. I think it would be a cop-out for me to turn around and say, and I think it's doing a disservice to people who are artistic, for me to say all graphic designers are not artistic because they look at things in straight lines and in numbers and areas as opposed to looking at freely. But art is art, right? That's the same way of saying what, like, people in the games industry, but doesn't mean that just because they're in a specific industry doesn't mean they don't earn anything about anything else. There are also other constraints that are involved.
Do you want me to be more specific?
Yes, some specificity would be lovely.
Okay, so game creators.
But by the way, the specificity is integral to my point. Is because you made a very general blanket comment.
You did, and I could totally name like 12 people.
And so I got specific with you, and then you gave them a pass.
I actually know people that work in the games industry that work on movies.
Just FYI, no one's going to hear what you just said because you both talked over each other.
Well, I didn't talk.
When you were finishing your sentence, he was talking, and through this, it just sounds like. Okay,
alright, okay. Well, I'll just finish what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that specificity is integral to your point because you made a blanket comment. This is what's the damage style right now because we're just talking about shit. But you made a blanket comment and then I called you on it by saying I became specific and named 2 specific people. I just picked the 2 first people that came to the top of my head, right? And I know one of them of which you respect, right? Yeah. So I picked both of them who are elites in the game industry, and your words were, if I confirm and we can rewind the tape, was everyone in the games industry doesn't know shit about film. But you gave 2 people that I picked off the top of my head a pass. So specificity is integral to your point. My point, I think Sacha's point is that yes, be specific, don't blanket, because if we want to be specific, then your point falls apart. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I want to hear your specifics now because I'm interested.
Alright, so everyone that I've spoken to in the game industry is all from the as we would say in film post-production side, the post side of games. So when the game's being developed.
What's that called?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Satch.
I know, it depends, because I think people you've spoken to, what do you think? Programming, QA.
He is right, though. That is like a post part of the game, though.
Music, or yeah.
So I would say the QA side of things, the people that I've spoken to in QA talk about film a lot and don't know what they're talking about.
That's really funny. You should mention that, because I know a lot of people that work QA that make films, actual films.
Yeah, making films and knowing about films, two different things.
Well, they know about films because
anyone with an iPhone can make a film. It's the fact that my point is that when I have a conversation with someone, they'll go off into a tangent about something that is not relative to the actual film. And where did that come from?
Like what? What do you mean? Well, I'm curious. Like, what do you mean?
Oh gosh.
We're learning about the inner workings of Mr. Joe.
I'm trying to think of a specific. I can't actually think of a specific right now, but
okay.
Just for my, I used to go to Harrow a lot, there were people that Satch worked in the games industry with. I think I won't name any companies, but some of them didn't know. I, as far as I'm concerned, didn't know what they were talking about.
Some or all?
All. Yeah.
So 100%.
All the people that I spoke
that you spoke to. Okay, fair enough.
Didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And I just I'm out.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And
you can only base your comments on the experiences that you have.
Sure. Yeah. But I'm gonna forward on that.
Okay.
Everyone at IGN, even though it was they had a film side of that website.
Did they? Yeah. I don't know.
No, they did.
Okay.
And it just wasn't accurate. The reviews are all over the place. It still is now. It's all over the place.
Rotten Tomatoes, which is an entirely movie-based website, do you not think some of their reviews are skewed? Because I think they've reviewed some films that I've gone, man, really? Like, this is a good film, but then that might be personal preference. But that's across the board.
But Rotten Tomatoes is a correlation of lots of other people's reviews.
Yeah.
And so, but again, on a recent movie talk, they were going into the ins and outs of who owns Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes is owned by either Time Warner or something like that. And and so it comes and goes, or what their motivation is for getting all of these.
Who are IGN owned by?
It used to be owned by Fox.
Now?
I'm not sure who owns them now, but it's more of a individual entity now. But
do you still not think that they have to answer to a certain part? So, for example,
they need to get hits on their website, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
There are other.
But content is also important to those avenues, because if I need, let's say I work for Zedos Gang, right?
Right.
And
I'm not beholden to anyone.
Yeah, no, I know, I understand. But let's say I understand. But let's say your Zedos Gang was an entity that requires on hits like BuzzFeed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're an entity that requires hits to be made for Zedos Gang to make money, for you to pay the people that work for you, and it's like a cyclical process, very communist regime, right? Mm-hmm. I make a video that makes clicks, you get the money, you pay me from that money, I make the video, make clicks, very cyclical, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. You only care about the hits. That's not necessarily true, because if I made a video that got loads of hits and it was racial, and 100% of the people that work for fucking Zedos Gang are black, and it's racially aggravating features that got loads of hits and makes loads of money, do I get fired? I put my job on the line,
I
right?
honestly couldn't tell you the ins and outs of that.
I know, but you'd be like, okay, well, there'll be uproar, right? You'd be like, oh, hold on a minute, this guy made a fucking thing, and like, he's getting loads of hits, we're making loads of money, but we're getting bad publicity, so he needs to go. We need to save face and go. Do you not think that sort of works the same way as, hey, we need to give this film a bad review, or a good review, or we need to follow in line? Like, there are orders that get passed down. They might not necessarily be direct, but there is an inclination within every business to say you need to have a biased view on certain things. Do you not believe that either? Like, do you not believe that sometimes it's maybe not the reviewer's fault? Like, there are things that I want to say on my podcast that even I won't say on my podcast, And that's a lot, because I won't fucking say, because I know I get backlash from the 3 people that listen to me. So, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
There's always something that's going to hold you back, and not always necessarily is it going to be something you can control.
Okay, fair. I mean, sure.
I'm not trying to destroy your view. I just think I personally feel it's unfair to blanket statement a whole group of people, because I could sit here and go, well, black people are horrible people, and then you would say, why would you say that? And I say, well, they don't know anything about not causing crime, because the majority of black people are in prison in America, so therefore all black Americans must be bad because the majority of them are in prison. That the majority of them are in prison, that's a fact, but everything else is bullshit. So it's a blanket statement I shouldn't be making. That's not fair to everybody else who's not doing that. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think that's what Sacha was trying to point out, is you might have a lot of people who are in the games industry that do listen to your podcast and might turn around and go, whoa, hold on a fucking minute, like, why'd Joe say that? Like, I know about movies, or even me, like me personally, like, I think I know about movies. I can sit here and talk to Max and Max about movies. Let's be honest, none of us really know shit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like I don't know shit. This guy don't know shit. He knows how to make movies for Sacha, and he knows how the movie process making works. But none of us have been on a major Hollywood set and worked next to. Okay, but you haven't stood next to a fucking director and gone, right, let me logistically work out how you do your job, how you do your job. Where's the budget going? How does this get done? You haven't done that. I haven't done that. He hasn't done that. Like, we've done it on a scale. In some sort of manner, in some level of involvement. You have been a cog in that machine, but you have never been the integral part of that machine. Like, you have not, like, you are replaceable. As a designer, you are replaceable. As a talker on my podcast, I'm replaceable.
Not really, because it's your podcast.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying? Like, as someone with a voice, like, if I was a guest on your podcast and I said something you didn't like, or we fell out, your podcast is not going to end. Zedos Gang is not going to end because Sacha's not on Zedos Gang. You get another person.
Right.
Or, yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because it's your podcast, you created it together, but if Sacha's like, I'm outie.
I'm not 100% sure about that, because
but it's just that I'm not trying to cause a rift. I'm just making an example, right? No. People are replaceable.
Now, what I mean is okay. Take take a series that's like, take Top Gear for instance, right?
Right.
Top Gear ran for how many series, and then they change everyone. It's not the same. It's got the same name. They've changed everyone out. It's not the same. They've got Joey from Friends running Top Gear now.
Matt LeBlanc, yeah.
Yeah. And so my point being is that, yeah, it's still the same. By letter, it's still the same thing, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
But they've moved on.
That's a very good example, and to be fair, I can't counteract that. And I'll put my hands on, I can't counteract that. But again, that comes down to specificity.
Right.
Because being specific about things, I wasn't specific enough. So there you called me out.
Enough.
Do you get what I mean? So I did the same to you. You just 8-miled me like I did it to you. Like you did it to me.
8-miled you?
Yeah.
Hell, man.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like that's like, I'm glad we brought humour back into Girl a bit serious. It's like I see Joe's face going, I ain't having fucking Leo back here again. Because he called me out on my podcast. Shit, dickhead.
Before you babies out of me there,
I want babying you out. Do you want to go? I'll go. Let's do this.
No. What I mean is, I watch a lot of Joe Rogan now,
okay.
and when he's wrong, he puts his hands up and says, "Hey, I was wrong." If bar the people that I know that are in the games industry that I've talked film with, he's the only one.
Yeah,
I'm pointing to Sach, that has made any sense to me in talking about film.
Yeah,
and that's a personal experience.
Yeah,
but it seems to be everything that I look at online, especially on gaming websites, they'll talk about a specific film. If it's say like what's the alien thing that came out by Sega?
Oh, you're talking about Alien Isolation?
Yeah. Okay. So
or Alien
Isolation.
Okay, because it's Colonial Marines as well.
Oh no! It was. I was looking at the comments in Alien Isolation, and they were talking about the film Alien, and right. They'll say, "Oh, it's crap because it doesn't do A, B, and C." Well, you guys, how? What?
Wait, so who said that though?
I can't give specifics. Specifics.
Okay, so I'm not asking for specific as the guy's name. Mm-hmm. I'm talking, was it the reviewer or was it someone on a thread?
There was a reviewer having a conversation with a commenter, like someone,
Right.
and they were saying something about the film, and the reviewer was saying, "Yeah, you're more or less right."
I'm guessing. Okay, so look. Again, it's also difficult for someone to say that for you to read that, because look, unbeknownst to you and I, incorrectly, I believe personally, there are people in the world that don't like Alien, as a movie. There are people that don't like it. It doesn't resonate with them. Right? There are people in the world that don't like Terminator 2, and I don't get it. Like, I just don't. It doesn't register with me. Like, like, you know, when I speak to them, I'm like, what do you mean you haven't seen, like, Terminator 2? Like, huh? Like, my girlfriend hasn't seen Terminator 2, and we're in a we just had a baby. Do you get what I mean? Like, I've chosen.
Whose fault was that?
It's our fault. We planned it, but
I'm just saying. Well, you had a baby with someone who doesn't like Terminator 2.
I understand. It's my fault, right? But like, what I'm saying is that when we first met, she's a yin to my yang, because like me and her we weren't into the same stuff. So the great thing about being in a relationship, especially if you're somebody who's open to new things, which she is reluctantly sometimes. The beautiful thing about that is that you get to relive the magic of that movie vicariously through them. So I can watch when the Terminator 2 fucking 4K reload comes out, I can watch that with her and enjoy it, not only for myself, but enjoy her wonder of how amazing that film is for the first time. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because she'll be like, wow, that was so cool. Or she'll go, hey, I don't understand this, and I can explain shit because I'm knowledgeable as fuck about that movie. Do you get what I mean? So like, that's the beautiful thing. But it doesn't register with me that people, when I speak to people and I go, how the fuck have you not seen this movie? And they go, I don't fucking know. Which is why earlier on when we were saying, spoiler alert, there's no spoiler alert. This film is 20 plus years old. If you haven't seen it, it's your fucking fault. I forgot what my point was.
Well, I take it back. People in the games industry know as
not
much
everybody.
as...
Not everybody's
people in the games industry know as much as I do.
I remember my point was unfortunately that from that reviewer saying that the Alien doesn't do X, Y, and Z. There are some people in the world that don't like Alien, so they are going to turn around and they will critique it in a manner of which is not liking to the way you feel about it, because you're like, hey, this is one of the greatest fucking movies of all time. Appreciate it, but different strokes for different folks. But you know, like another man's treasure is another man's trash.
But the reason why I picked that out specifically is because you bought the game, so you must be an Alien fan. So you don't. Not
always, because I've bought games that I don't know fuck all about, and I've gone, hey, I'm just going to give this a chance. Like, I've played one other Final Fantasy game, which was Final Fantasy VII. I've never played any other ones. I don't like turn-based combat.
Yeah.
Right. But I bought Final Fantasy 15 and loved that game because I was like, okay, they've changed the combat, they've done a few things differently. I'm going to give this game a go, and I loved it. So just because you buy something doesn't necessarily mean that you had to be into the things prior to it. Which is why, like, if you get a film, for example, Superman Returns, which is made specifically for people that have seen the other ones, so you're like half isolating your audience already. Why they bomb? Like, because of things like that. But that's another point. But yeah, I mean, with you, yes, I completely understand why you'd get upset about that, and why you would then have that precursor to be judgmental to people in the gaming industry. But I would feel that, me personally, that is an unfair comment because of there are some people. I mean, and I hope you don't take my point of view as aggressive way. You can take it constructively and be like, hey, you know.
I'm not that guy. So if on the vice versa of that, I don't talk about games because I don't know anything about game development,
right?
And I don't review games because I don't know.
I'll review games for you if you want.
Yeah, go for it. That's why I don't talk about. I try to keep it down to a minimum on this. I mean, because games, game to film adaptations happen on this in the film world. So sometimes we tread lightly on the game section of things, the
problem is that film, as a narrative, has been a cross-platform type of media for a lot longer than gaming has. I mean, I would say gaming really hit its cross-platform
a couple of years ago
for the Wii. I don't know if Satch would agree. He's probably not listening because he's been on his phone the whole time. But I would say personally, gaming really didn't hit cross-platform really until the Wii. Because before the Wii, you were very much like, you had a PlayStation, you had this and you had that. And it was still kind of a kid thing. Until the Wii came out and it's like, hey, your fucking nan can play the Wii. Mm-hmm. You know, like you're playing it in the living room, you're playing with your friends, and you invite your fucking, you can have coffee and a fucking after dinner, and then all of a sudden you're bowling, and you're like, hey, we don't need to go out, we can bowl in home. So now your dad's playing Wii with the kids, and the granddad's playing Wii. You got the Wii Fit, even though it's useless. Like, you get what I mean? It's cross-platform.
It became universal.
It opened up the demographic, and the moment that happened, that's when gaming became a bit more acceptable. At which point, people who, as I would correctly assume as you, who may not know, not everybody does, but people who may think they know about gaming start talking about gaming. I mean, like, you kind of really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But the reason people feel more comfortable to talk about movies in such a manner is movies has been a cross-platform narrative for a lot longer, for a lot longer. So people feel that they have that connection to be able to make that judgment because a lot of people have been watching films for a lot longer.
Let me give you one last example, and then we've got to move on.
Yeah.
My friend Imran Yusuf, cool guy, stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
he's great. Go see him someday.
I've had him on my podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, go see him sometime. He does the Comedy Store on Tuesdays and Thursdays. God bless him. he talks a lot about film, but doesn't know what he's talking about. In terms of this is a hard one to navigate.
Hey, you brought it up. So
no. But I'm just trying to make a point.
Names.
You drop names, bro. You gotta be specific about what you're saying now. I don't edit this shit out, dude.
I don't edit my podcast. And so
that's a lie.
No, I don't.
Dude, I remember once I was with you on here, and you making notes every time I was talking of certain things.
That's one I thought I could do it, but it was too frequent, so I didn't bother. So Imran, been a friend of mine for a long time, and I remember leaving Superman Returns and having a really weird argument with him about that. And
but again, here's the other thing. Okay, I get what you're saying, but with games, there are bugs in games that break games, right? So, for example, I could say that X game, like just game X, is a shit game because it's buggy. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't tested correctly. It's not because the storyline's shit, but I couldn't play it. You know, I couldn't get to the storyline because the character kept falling through the floor, or the jumping mechanic was flawed, or things like that, or the difficulty curve was too hard, or whatever. Okay, that's why a game can be shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are other aspects of it, like the atmosphere and how it's presented and stuff like that. That goes a little bit into the storyboarding and the movie side of it, the actual narrative. But a game in itself, there are many reasons why a game can fall at each step. Mm-hmm. Movies, very difficult to quantify because movies touch people on a completely different level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is why games that are made like movies and resonate with people a lot stronger, which is why games like Metal Gear Solid, you as a big movie fan, resonates with you a lot stronger because Metal Gear Solid is made like a movie. Hideo Kojima has come out and actively said he's taken inspiration from movies to make that game. Mm-hmm. So he's taken inspiration from one form of media to another and transferred that, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why it's so successful and it's why somebody like you enjoys it so much, right? But the reason I would suggest that Imran, as you've named him, so we're going to name him, Imran would defend an atrocious movie like fucking Superman Returns.
No, he wasn't defending it.
Oh, okay. What was he doing?
He was going on about the character, and I said, yeah, he was saying that all the connections to Jesus and everything that we kind of already know.
Yeah.
And so, it's a comic book film. There's only so much you will stretch your belief. You stretch your belief as much as the film lets you, in the sense of what's going on.
The universe that you're setting as much as it allows you to do it.
Yeah, and he would not see eye to. It wasn't so much about the film. It was just about the narrative of having a guy he was saying it was oh, this is a propaganda piece about America, yada yada yada. He was going into so many different narratives.
But maybe that touches facets.
Sure.
Of which he felt strongly to, which is why he defended it. I don't know.
He wasn't defending it.
But I don't know what happens in that cat's head. So I don't know, like what's going on in Imran's at that time when that film 2006 came out.
Yeah.
What he was feeling at that time to make him defend those specific points. But again, that's the problem with films. Films, they touch people in different ways. Some people will watch Forrest Gump and they'll go, "Oh man, like this is a really sad film about a guy who has a disability." Some people will watch it and go, "This is a really fucking funny film with a few undertones that are really sad about it." And some people might watch it and go, "It's dog shit." And some people might hate it but love it right at the end and go, "Holy shit!" The entire time he knows he's retarded, because when he looks at Jenny, he goes, "Is he like me?" Which means he fucking knows. He knows there's something wrong with him. That's some deep shit that should pluck some shit heartstrings, like, you know, make you want to cry, because you're like, he fucking knows he's retarded, and he's like, and he completely accepts who he is, and he's still like, can you imagine, like, knowing that you're fucked in the head? Like, not fucked in the head, that's horrible, I shouldn't say that. But can you imagine knowing, like, that you have the mental capacity that doesn't allow you to excel mentally, like, to have that capacity mentally, and still being like, I'm gonna have to live my life. So you know that you don't know. You're smart enough to know that you don't know.
My mate Catherine's like that.
But you're not smart enough to make yourself smarter. Like, do you know how fucked that is? Like, that concept. That's like some mind inception shit. Like,
I know a living, breathing person like that. Her name's Catherine.
You're dropping names left and right today, man. It's like bombs over Baghdad. You just fucking go for it. Tell me about it. Good holiday location, Baghdad, untouched. Should definitely go. Anyway, I think we should move on. I don't know about you guys, but I think I tried to play devil's advocate for you, Satch. I hope you appreciate.
I think you did a better job than I would have, because I was about to walk out of this podcast. I'm being serious.
No, you wouldn't walk out.
I don't know about that.
You're joking.
I was being serious. But
I think you're joking.
Moving along.
You wouldn't do that.
Dude, if you want to walk out.
Oh, no.
I don't want to walk out.
No, I think he's joking.
I'm kind of done with this now anyway.
Oh, come on, cheer up. Come on, we got to finish it anyway.
Right.
Where we go next? Talk to me.
I think this is Dunkirk. What do you guys think of it?
What do you think?
It's alright.
Are you going to be in a mood now? Are you going to get upset now?
I'm kind of done.
Alright, okay, hold on. We're going to take 5. Let's pause.
No, I'm done.
We've upset Joe. Well,
no, you haven't upset me. I'm just done.
Alright, talk to me about Dunkirk. What do we know about it?
Christopher Nolan film. It's a film.
Mm-hmm.
World War II, about something to do with Dunkirk.
Wow. I've stood on those shores. It's pretty intense. I went to, have you ever been to, you've seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
I went to Omaha Beach once.
Omaha Beach?
Omaha Beach. You know, right at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, the D-Day landing.
The D-Day landing? Like when everybody gets killed?
Yeah.
Right there.
I've been there. Man, it's tough. Like, when you go to locations like this and you're like, holy shit, like, people fought and died, and that's why I really can't wait for this film. Like, it's gonna be so good. Like, it's gonna be such a good movie, because it's fucking Christopher Nolan, and is Cillian Murphy the main character, or is this like a all ensemble cast kind of thing?
I think he's part of some story narrative that happens in it. I've said narrative a lot today.
We've all said narrative a lot today.
I haven't.
But it's, I mean, he's just afraid to go back, and I can understand that.
Yeah. Because his dad's coming out, right? His dad's like, they've got to go help, and he's like, come on. For a second, I thought it was like he was telling his dad to turn back.
I think
he's gonna go out, you need to fuck off, Dad.
Yeah, but I think what that is that his dad wants to go and help, and he doesn't want to go back because he's just got out of that, and he's saying turn back, and I can totally understand that how you would feel. I've just come from hell. I don't want to go back into it.
Yeah. There's that scene of the guy drowning, or not drowning, but you know, as the water's hitting it sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever seen this film called White Squall?
So what?
Yeah.
It's a film called
Ridley
White
Scott.
Squall. Is it Ridley Scott?
Yeah, I think it's Ridley Scott.
It's got Jeff Bridges in it.
Yeah.
It's
Never heard of
about.
it.
I don't actually remember what it's about, as in like the intricate parts of it. I just know it's a guy who takes these kids out on a boat, like they're young adolescent teenagers, and he takes them out on a boat. Could you bring it up? Bring it up on your computer, see what you can find about it. White Squall, and it's like White Squall is a type. I think it's a type of storm.
Uh-huh.
Anybody who knows? I've seen it on TV a few times, and it fucked with me. But anyway, that scene with the drowning. There's a drowning scene in that movie.
What's it called?
White, and then space Squall. Squall, I think. Yeah. What year is it?
Okay. 1996.
96. Jeff Bridges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fucking good film, man. Like, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, he's like these. I think they're delinquent kids. I don't remember what the ins and outs. Like, one of them's really fucked up, and he shoots a dolphin with a spear gun, and they're all like, "You need to fuck off." And then basically the boat starts sinking. They get hit by this storm. I think it's him on trial. Like, the whole film's him on trial, telling it in a flashback.
Right.
About what happened to these kids and how like people died on the boat and shit, because he was responsible for these rich people's kids.
Right.
I think. What does it say there? What's the synopsis?
In 1960, a hardy group of prep school students board the old-fashioned sailing ship with Captain Christopher Sheldon, Jeff Bridges at the helm. The ocean-going voyage is intended to teach the boys fortitude and discipline, but the youthful crew, among them confident Chuck Gregg, Scott Wolf, and then it stops.
Yeah, so basically shit happens. Like,
right.
But a white squall is it's either the ship or it's the storm. Because I remember at one point he looks at it and goes, "It's a white squall." And it hits them and then they sink. And it's like, there's like a really intense like drowning sequence in there.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's exactly, I know it's a long roundabout way of saying how claustrophobic that fucking Dunkirk trailer makes me feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, that was good. I really like that fucking movie. I really want to see it.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty cool. Okay. What do you want to hit with?
Well, I was gonna say we do the top 10 films, because I got some films I think I was gonna make you laugh, Joe.
Yeah, you go for it, man.
So basically, I'm thinking if I throw some films out, the ones that I said I would say my personal top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Joe, you've known me for a while.
Yeah.
You would say that. Would you say that I'm a pretty intelligent person when it comes to picking films? I say, hey, this one's good, this one's bad. I'm about to destroy that. Sorry, so I do apologize if you had any decent view on what I would say I would watch. I apologize because
it's cool.
To everybody here. So I have a few honorable mentions, and I actually have it to 11. I couldn't pick 10. I literally couldn't do it. But Sach, feel at any point, if you want to rebuttal at any point, or any of you want to say, hey dude, what the fuck is this film, really? Okay, so The Matrix. Would you say that's a pretty good film?
Yeah.
Right. Point Break.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah.
These are films that I can sit down and watch over and over again, right?
Yeah, sure.
Now, I cheated on this. Aliens 1 and 2.
No.
So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah.
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Did you do it as like a joint thing? Or?
Yeah, that's
okay,
a joint entry.
You see, well, when it comes to joint things, I kind of take that out because I refuse to put them in my top 10.
Dude, I cannot separate.
Because you can't, like Star Wars, I can't separate that trilogy.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
okay,
that would be number 1.
Would you not want to take Attack of the Clones out there?
That's not in there.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
not in there.
Oh, I thought you meant Star Wars as a whole.
No, I said that trilogy as in the holy...
So but the thing is, notice I don't class number 3. Are you a fan of number 3, Joe?
Of what?
Alien.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not a fan of number 3. I hate number 3. I like 1 and 2.
Have you seen the assembly cut? That's number 3.
Assembly cut. You were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I only say that because I only just saw that last night. And I've kind of changed my stance with Alien 3, but I'm still a little bit...
Do you know what lets me down is the computer graphics? It hurts me.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I got another film, which you might not know. Joe, could you just double check something for me? It's a film called Blood In, Blood Out. If I'm right, I think it's made by the same guy who either wrote or directed An Officer and a Gentleman. But it's like a Chicano Hispanic film. And it's set in East LA. It's a long fucking movie. I don't know, I can't remember what the runtime is, but it's a long fucking film. But it's one of my favorites. It's got Benjamin Bratt.
Okay.
And then it's got the guy who played Ken in the Street Fighter movie.
Which one?
The guy who played Ken.
Yeah, which Street Fighter movie?
Oh, the Street Fighter film, the Van-Damme.
Oh, Van-Damme. Okay, yeah.
And a few other like actors on there, but it's a really good film. Dude, Joe, I reckon you'd like it. It's a good film. Just check it out. It's a quite good film. But then I got it's controversial. Mortal Kombat the movie.
Okay.
Joe's like, okay, I like that shit. Yeah. T2 Judgment Day, obviously, right? Inception.
Yeah.
Because I just can't get over that film. It fucked with my mind first time I saw it. This is what I mean. I cheated because I got 11. Independence Day. Double Impact.
Yeah.
With the 2 Van Dammes. The namesake of this fucking podcast, of my podcast, Double the Van-Dammage. And then Street Fighter the movie with Van Damme. There are 2 Van Damme films on that list. I can't.
Hang on, wait. Is this your top 10 or these your honourable mentions?
No, these are my top 10.
Oh, those are your top 10?
Yeah.
So, wait, Street Fighter the movie is your all-time favourite film of all time?
No, it's not on the top of the list. These are just my top 10. It wasn't in any order.
There's no order.
There was no order to it. It was just the top 10 films. I read it from the bottom to the top. and these are films that I can sit there and I can legit just watch and love all of. Does that make sense? I can love these films passionately, entirely. I can see all the flaws in them and how bad they are. And I could, do you know, have you seen Good Will Hunting? You seen Good Will Hunting? Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know the bit where he's talking about when what's his name? Robin Williams. When he's talking to Matt Damon, he's saying to him like, my wife, she used to fart when she used to sleep, and one time she farted so hard she broke herself up, and I was like, and she was like, was that you? And I said, I didn't have the heart to tell her it was her and all that. And he's like, and he says to Matt Damon, he's like, those are the things, the imperfections that make them perfect. And that's what these films are to me. Like, there are so many things wrong with Independence Day and Double Impact and Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like the other ones I can let go. But there are so many things wrong with those films that I love them that much. So I'm like, you know what? It's those bad things about those movies that make them perfect for me. Like I said, like I got a few honourable mentions, and I think you'll turn around and go, why are the honourable mentions not on your list?
Right.
Okay, Predator. What? It's an honourable mention. Like, it's one I would love to put on the list, but it's not on my list.
Right.
Okay. Because I had to narrow it down to a top 10, right? And I struggled. It was a kick between Predator and Inception, but Inception took out because it was just made me think a lot harder.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it a lot more. But that's my personal preference. But Predator's on the list. Kickboxer with Van Damme and Bolo Young.
I'm actually surprised that's not your number one.
It's not my number one. There's no number one. Like
so you're saying you're telling me that Street Fighter.
It's not my number one. It's not my number one. Like I said, there's no preference. I'm just saying it's on there.
But it's on there over Kickboxer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's fucking Street Fighter. I grew up on Street Fighter. It's my first time someone took the real world Street Fighter and put it in the real world. That was it. And it's Van Damme, and I love Van Damme, so fuck it. Hold on. Now, okay, so this one might go past you. Youngblood. Have you seen Youngblood?
What's Youngblood?
No.
Young Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
He's a French Canadian in the film. Barely even speaks. Very young Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze. Hockey film called Youngblood.
I was thinking the comic book Youngblood. You know the Jim Lee one?
Yeah.
Was it Jim Lee or was it the Deadpool guy? Youngblood.
I'm not too sure.
Either way, Image Comics, Youngblood. I that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, they made a movie of that?
It's Image Comics.
Yeah.
Right, Roadhouse. And then the Guyver films. the live action. I can't class the animes as that. Bloodsport, Drive. I think we've talked about it before.
Drive.
Mark Dacascos and
I know
Kerry
Drive.
Middleton.
Yep.
The Rocky 2 specifically, because that was the first Rocky I saw.
Oh, okay.
I never got to see Rocky 1, so I had to literally piece together what Rocky 1 was about by watching that snippet of Rocky 2 right at the beginning. Like, you know, they snippet Rocky 1 of each one. That is what I pieced together as a child.
Right.
My mum, I remember I was on Finchley Road train station, and my mum would pick me up from school, and she had a tape in her bag, and she said, I bought you this tape. You're really going to like it. And I said, okay. And I said, what's it about? She said, boxing. And I said, okay, I don't know what the fuck boxing is. Because I was a kid. And then she went home, and it was just me and my mum, and then she put on Rocky 2, and I was like, this is the greatest fucking movie of all time as a child. John Wick, honourable mention, and Wicked City, which we spoke about before we went live on the podcast, by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Those are my honourable mentions. A lot of them, some people would say, should be on the main list. But on my main list, I stick by my main list as well. Like, I will defend it. If somebody said, like, why did you put this film? I will defend it and go, that film needs to be on the main list because I can't fight it either way. Like, those are the films that I would sit down and watch. Sach, you'll go.
I have a top 10, man.
You're like, holy
I really
shit.
don't have a top 10. I have a top 3.
Go on, give me a top 3.
But you know what? When you said you were doing a top 10, I felt I had to write a top 10.
Okay.
And now, to be quite honest, these are all films I love, but like, there's no particular order. And now that you've said that list, I feel I need to readjust this completely. But these are the ones I've written. The Raid.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was on my honourable mentions.
Yeah, because it's fucking,
yeah, it's a great film. Yeah.
It's fucking kick ass. Because I put The Raid on, I was like, no, but now I'm replacing one of my favourite ever, the first ever Kung Fu movie I ever saw, Jackie Chan's Wheels on Meals.
Okay.
Man, I love that film.
Yeah, great.
Fucking awesome. Alright. Desperado.
I like Desperado.
Desperado, you know what, yeah, that is a film I can watch over and over and over again. It's just a bad guy. The bad guy's hilarious in it. The over-the-top action, just the whole notion. Just a guy walks into a town, guitar case full of guns. You know,
yeah.
it just works, man.
It's simple.
It's simple. It's like the perfect revenge story, almost. You know what I mean? I say almost, but like everything about it. Just, you know, I watched it the other day with a whole group of mates that had never seen it before, and like everyone loved it. But when we got to Once Upon a Time in Mexico, I was like, we're not feeling
yeah, but nobody really likes that movie.
Yeah, it's like. Well,
because Johnny Depp is weird. What else you got?
Yeah. Okay. LA Confidential.
I've never seen it.
What?
I was hoping to see Joe go, you've never seen LA Confidential. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I have seen it.
You've never seen LA Confidential?
Never had a chance to.
Fuck.
Just never got around to it.
You need to speak to Pablo.
I know.
No, you need to do that tonight, bro. Speak to Pablo.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I can't. I can go work tomorrow. I can do it tonight.
Yeah. Alright, this is one of my personal favourites. Get Shorty with John Travolta.
Yeah, that's when he plays, oh fuck.
He's a Shylock.
Yeah, what's his name?
Goes to Hollywood. Chili Palmer.
Chili
fucking Palmer.
Yeah, because the sequels Get Cool, right?
No, Be Cool.
Be Cool.
I wasn't too much of a fan of Be Cool, mainly because it's completely nothing like the novel, and they tried to more or less remake Get Shorty with Be Cool. And
okay.
Like, Get Shorty's Get Shorty. Get Shorty's a better film. Be Cool's a funny film. It's a good film. You know who shines out of Get Shorty? The Rock and Vince Vaughn. Like,
no, you mean Be Cool.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. It'd be cool. But no,
Vince Vaughn, I've always loved Vince Vaughn.
Get Shorty though. Get Shorty, man. I love that film, man. It's just, that's actually my favourite John Travolta film of all time.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I would have put Broken Arrow on that list.
Oh, Broken Arrow's up there. Like to be quite honest, if I thought more about this list, this could be, that would have been one of the honourable mentions. I like that film a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a good film.
It's ain't it cool?
Yeah.
Ain't it cool?
God damn, what a rush.
God damn, what a rush. Terminator 2.
T2, yeah, obviously. Yeah, we don't need to go down that road.
Hand in hand with Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens. I saw it last night.
James Cameron, yeah.
I saw it last night. First time in years. It'd been a long time. I've been saving that film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was saving that film. I was saving that anthology for the time when Covenant was on board to whip it out. And I watch.
When's Covenant out? Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's out Thursday. Yeah.
I might watch that.
Yeah.
On Friday morning.
Oh, okay.
I wake up Friday and wake up nice and early. Go. I went to cinema recently and it was great. There was nobody there. It was the best. Just go there nice and early and there's fuck all anybody there.
Okay, but these are the top. These are the three. These are the main three that I can watch over and over again.
Go.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Pulp Fiction.
Right.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You got me on the first two. I don't. See, no, actually, no. I give you Raiders. That's good. Pulp Fiction. Okay. I love Pulp Fiction, but I don't think I can watch it over and over again. That's you. But Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is hard going, man.
Man, that film makes you laugh, makes you cry. It's a sure testament to like fucking his performance in that film.
Yeah,
he's fucking superb, mate. Like the whole film. That's one film where everything's all on his shoulders. Like literally, the whole thing is a performance piece, and he just fucking rocks it out the park, man.
How do you know it's just not the crazy Indians fever dream? How do you know that's just not what that is? Is that your list?
What?
That's your list, right?
That's the list.
That's the list.
Joe,
you got anything?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Hey.
I tried to watch that once.
I love that film.
I couldn't do it until I was stoned.
Oh man.
I had to be inebriated to enjoy it.
How was that experience with the lizards and shit?
To be fair, I was so stoned I really didn't. I was like, oh, I get it now, but there was a really funny bit when he gets pulled over by Woody Harrelson, and the bit that I had the giggles. I was laughing so hard when he's like, at that moment I knew I was fucked, and I just couldn't help it. I just started cracking up. It was such a random film because like what's his name? Tobey Maguire just fucking
he just shows up randomly
and like
it's the bats.
Yeah, but it's based on it's like a real story, right? It's like
I believe it's loosely based on someone.
I can't remember his name. No, it's like Cooper S. Anderson or something like Cooper.
I'm not particularly sure, but all I remember when I watched it twice. The first time I didn't get it. The second time I totally got it, and it was. Why have I not always watched this film? And so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, films resonate with people different ways. I couldn't watch that film more than once, but you can. You can sit there and watch it. You can, obviously, what you're saying, you can sit there. It's one of your favorite films. You can sit there and just enjoy it over and over. Kind of like with The Core. Has anyone seen that fucking movie?
Oh God!
When the Earth's core stops.
I was working at the cinema when that came out.
Oh, did you? Yeah. You can put that on. That's a background film. That doesn't even need to be a real film. You can just put it on in the background of it goes. But yeah, go on. So Fear and Loathing.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Terminator 2.
Notice how that's across the board. Loved. If you don't love that film, you're a piece of shit. Like, even if you haven't seen it, I can forgive you because you don't know. But if you don't like it, you're a horrible human being.
Do you know what I remember?
That's like not liking puppies. If you don't like small versions of things like puppies, you're a horrible person.
I remember a work colleague turned around after watching Revenge of the Fallen going, hey, I saw T2 over the weekend. I was like, you watched Terminator 2? I was like, no, T2. I was like, what? Transformers 2? Like, I was like, no, you can't call that film T2. There's only one T2 in this book.
The balls on Trainspotting on fucking...
Yeah, right? You know.
The balls to call it T2. I was like
shit.
But then, you know, it's Trainspotting, so you kind of get a pass, because it's Trainspotting.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, mate,
but
awesome.
I've seen the first one, and so I give it a pass.
It's awesome.
I give him a pass for what he said for doing that. Go on, so you got T2, what else?
Wreck.
Wow, I completely forgot about that movie. That should have been on my fucking list.
No.
You told me about that.
I did tell you about it.
Yeah, it was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Sats told me about that film. He was like, dude, you need to watch Wreck. And I think I went, isn't there a remake of that? And he said Quarantine. And he was like, no, watch Wreck. And I went home and I fucking downloaded it. Fuck it. I'm not even bothered making up shit. I watched the first one and the second. And I was like, oh, and then they made the third and it fucked the whole thing up.
You've seen the fourth one?
So which one's the one at the wedding?
It's the third one.
Third one. No, I haven't seen the fourth one. Is that good?
That continues after the second one.
After the second one. Right. Then I'll watch that. Is it good?
I'll let you make your decision on that.
Did you enjoy it?
I'm not going to say a word.
Why?
Just watch it.
You got to take the red pill, man.
Okay, right, go on, what else?
Crap, I can't remember what the film was called. Star Wars Episode 3.
Revenge?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Revenge? Is it that gets you the most? Is it because they killed the baby?
No, it's got one of the best undercover twists in any film I've ever seen in my life.
What do you mean?
Order 66.
Oh, to kill the Jedis.
Yeah, because that was clearly what the clones were there for, and it was put into it was engineered into them to, okay, when you hear that, boom, and just imagine having a fucking shitload of an army that you're fighting with all of a sudden just turn around and shoot you.
Yeah, true.
That's the best turn in any film I've ever seen, and it's just so simple. Commence Order 66. No one knew about it. Boom. All your bases belong to me. That's the if anything that I could say about any war film, any espionage film, anything, that's you wouldn't see it coming because it was from 3 films ago.
Yeah.
And so it's fuck.
Catches you off guard. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's amazing. It's
Is it
brilliant.
just for that though?
More or less.
Are there no other films with something like that in it?
Say again?
Are there no other films with something like that
Not
in it?
not something that's plotted for like 3
That long.
films in.
The only thing I could maybe think about is maybe, spoiler alert for thinking people who've seen it, Game of Thrones.
That's a TV show.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, do you know the bit where it's end of season 1, whenever Ned Stark confronts the Queen, and then everyone turns against the Starks, and it's like murders, and it's like basically kicking off in the capital, like with all their soldiers, like all of a sudden everyone's got to pick a side, kind of like that, I guess, but less pre-planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he planned this. Palpatine planned this thing out to a T.
Yeah.
He's a freaking genius. He played everyone, and I don't care what anyone says about the prequels.
He was the same actor, right, from the originals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for Empire Strikes Back. Well, no, from Return of the Jedi. But he's in Empire Strikes Back now because of all the special editions and stuff. But the one in Empire was a different actor.
Okay.
It was a different actor, but now it's Ian McDermott throughout. So yeah.
Oh.
At least Clive Owen got a paycheck, eh?
Yeah. So what else you got?
Clive Revel, actually.
He's trying to remember something. Hold on.
Can't remember how many films that was, but I think that was 4th. Then Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. Here's the problem with Prometheus. It's not a problem with the film. It's a problem with the fact that it's so underrated. People underrate that movie. Like, I know people go, it shouldn't be one of those films. To me, it's like T2 kind of thing. It shouldn't be one of those movies where people say, oh, I don't know if I liked it. Like, no. You should like it. It's a fucking smart movie. Like,
I think because people were expecting aliens. They just want to see aliens again.
The only thing I don't like, again, this is all spoiler alert, so from this point onwards, assume everything's going to be a spoiler. I'm not going to keep saying it. The Deacon alien apparently is not in Covenant. Apparently.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So they are... so did they add that in there for just fan service?
Well, no, it was an evolution from the moment that the black goo was introduced. It's all the evolution into what that thing that, because it's about, that whole thing is about wiping a planet out in a clean way. Yeah. And that's the cleanest way to do it, is introduce it to the system. It does what it
but it's
does.
Not just about that, because it also creates life. Because as you see in the beginning,
but this is what I mean. This is what there's so many little
uses,
tangents that that Ridley Scott has is trying to build upon, but no one's interested in looking at that. But yeah, I could argue this thing to the
if they don't fucking explain some shit about the Black Widow, I swear to God, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah, well,
if it doesn't even give me like a bit more of an idea of what's happening, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna one man riot. I'm just gonna start throwing bins around the fucking cinema on my own in the middle of the day on a weekday because there'll be nobody else there. But I just have so many questions. We've talked about this before. I have so many questions that need answering. But yeah, Prometheus, yeah.
Ghost
Recon.
Sorry.
It's up on your wall.
Oh, you mean Mission Impossible? I would say the first one. That's my favorite.
The first Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I like all of them, but Mission Impossible is my favorite.
I haven't seen the Rogue Nation. Is that the newest one?
That's awesome.
That was good.
The new one when he's hanging from the side of the plane.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. As far as I'm concerned, Christopher McQuarrie has come close to what Brian De Palma did with that. He's got a good balance of action and actual espionage.
What's the one before? Is that the Kremlin one, the Russia one?
Yeah, that's
I saw that one.
That's the
I
fourth
like
one. Yeah, that's good as well. Brad Bird did a good job of that as well.
They're doing a sequel to the new one, right? Another one? They're doing another.
Yeah, it's 6. Yeah, it's being filmed right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's in production. Okay, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I was like, are they or are they not?
Oh yeah, it's being filmed right now.
Right. Okay.
So Mission Impossible.
It doesn't have to be 10. If you want some honourable mentions or other films, you don't have to do it. It doesn't have to be.
There's just lots of films that I like.
See, I took mine to a for me, it was just films I could just put on and enjoy. Like, I can put on Street Fighter 2, and for an hour and a half, the world is okay. Does that make sense?
No.
For me, for an hour and a half, everything's alright with the world, and that's how I see it. For me, I'm like, I'm okay with this because this is what brings me back to like better days of just being able to put it on, enjoy some really stupid film, but know all the lines, know how bad the acting is, know the horrible stories that went on behind the scenes of that film, and still be like, and know, you know what the best thing about that for me, Street Fighter is? Raul Julia. He's just like, there are some stupid lines in that movie, but when he delivers them, you're like, I can't fault that. I can't. Like, he was such a thespian that was just like completely miscast. Almost completely miscast, but almost perfectly cast. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a difficult role. I couldn't see anybody else try to do that. So when they got that Neil McDonough guy to do the fucking, whatever that fucking movie was, the other one, Chun-Li film, he played Bison and he was blonde.
Oh crap! Yeah, the guy from Minority Report.
The dude from Minority Report. Yeah, exactly. That guy. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing as Bison? You know, like, Bison's supposed to be Thai. At least Raul Julia looked kind of brown. Like, like what the fuck is happening here?
It was a weird choice, yeah.
Yeah, but then like, yeah, I don't know. But for me, those films like Double Impact. I bought that on Blu-ray and then watched it and loved it. I was like, I forgot how good this film is. The CGI is fucking terrible. But
well, it's not really CGI. It's just it's a camera trick. It's so it's.
No, there is a scene where they're both in the same room,
right.
And you can see really bad like composition of one of them next to the other, and it happens maybe a few times in the film.
Yeah,
and it's so bad, like it's so bad. But
it suffers from what those films used to suffer in the 80s, where something's content you could tell, hey, this is a special effects scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like a weird filter that goes across just before a special effects happens. You know, like, they're about to do a special effect, and they do it. You're like, I knew it, and then and it's like, it's not like which bit was the special effect, because I don't know. Maybe for me, I can remember seeing the first time I was shocked that I was looking at special effect was in Bad Boys 2. Really random thought. I don't know why, but I just remember watching Bad Boys 2 and watching the scene where they're driving the cars and they're crashing the cars.
Oh yeah, all the cars are CG.
And all the cars were CG. And I went, all of them are CG? I was like, oh, I didn't expect that at all. No. I was like, I thought maybe one or two of them flying back, and then the rest is just all like choreographed driving.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the whole thing's CG. And at which point I was like, anything is possible. Like now, like, and then they do stupid things like the Thing remake.
I actually like that.
No,
it's not a remake.
No, it's a prequel.
Yeah.
The film is good. The storyline is good, but they did a lot of prosthetic work for that movie that never got shown. And the reason the first, like, I don't know if you know about that. I think Oliver Harper did a thing on it.
He did.
Or he either did a thing on the Thing, or he did a thing on the on the prequel, The Thing, or it was Good Bad Flicks, which is the other guy from America who's kind of like Oliver Harper. He does his. You'll see. I'll show you. So yeah, he ever did it, but I watched it and I was like, I get it. I get they worked really hard to recreate the station from the beginning of the first one, to try to figure out like. So what they did for that film is they used a lot of scale models, and a lot of images and people from different forums around the internet who tried to build what it looked like from scale models from what they had seen and try to figure out, and then they built that off those ideas. So they had a lot of involvement from people from the internet, and then they commissioned these guys to do all this prosthetic work, and then at the last minute they were like, yeah, we're just gonna make it with CGI. It's the dumbest fucking move they did, because the reason to this day, like, The Thing still creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch it and I'll go, like, it's not a film, like, my list was of films that I can just rewatch over and over again. That is an intense watch for me. Like, I can't just put that on. I need to prepare myself a little bit for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree, but for me, like, I need to mentally prepare myself on what I'm about to watch, because I know that it's body horror. Like, it's Cronenberg style of body horror.
Yeah.
And it's intense. Like, for me, it fucks me up and it creeps me out. And I know it's fake. Like, I know I'm a grown man. I fucking deal with heavy shit on a daily basis. And even now, I'm like, oh, I need to prepare myself to watch this. So I said to my girlfriend, baby, we should watch The Thing. She was like, okay, let's watch it tonight. No, I can't do it now. Like, I can't do it right now. Maybe tomorrow. Give me some time to process it. It's really weird how my brain does that. Like, but with certain films, I can't just put it on. And that's one of them. The other one's like Pursuit of Happiness. Why would you ever want to watch that film? And now it ends. Move on.
I've never seen that film.
You know, don't watch it. Shit. It's good. It's good the one time you watch it. Like £7. It's good the one time you watch it.
You didn't like The Pursuit of Happiness?
I wasn't happy.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed it.
I pursued it. I watched it. I moved on. I didn't. What the fuck else you want me to do? I watched it once and I was like, okay, I get it. You know. But okay. So here's the issue. Like, for me, I cannot watch, like, these films I watched. They're not the films that I talk about, like my top 10. They're not emotionally draining for me.
Yeah.
They're not like something like, I'm not in the highs and the lows and like, you know, it's not a thing that drags through me. But Pursuit of Happiness, it's a film that's going to drag through you. Like, it's going to make you feel high, make you feel low, make you want to cry. And you need to give a lot of attention to it as well. Like, I don't need that shit. I want a film I could just put on. And, like, I don't need to prepare myself for The Thing. I need to fucking prepare myself for it. I need to get the cokes ready, get some cocaine, maybe. Just to fucking keep myself buzzed. But anyway. What have we got next? What's going on?
Okay, so Back to the Future trilogy.
I was gonna say, which one? You like the third?
Yeah.
I have an issue with the third.
I don't. It changes just enough that it's not treading the steps of the last two. Because the second one you can get away with because you're retreading the steps and doing something different.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to do any of that shit?
Oh no, I can imagine. My issue with it is so benign.
No, it's a good story, man.
No. My issue
kind of dark as well.
No. My issue with it is benign.
Oh, right, I got you. Okay.
It's the fact that he managed to build a time machine from a steam train.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll tell you what.
That's what my problem is with it.
The last 5 minutes of that film is bullshit.
What do you mean?
When he comes back in time with the train, in the steam train. The fact that he had the DeLorean, because do you know from Back to the Future 2, he goes back in time with the DeLorean, he goes back to 18 whatever, time. So okay, he's got all the parts for the DeLorean there.
In 1955.
9:55. Then it goes back to he gets struck by lightning.
From 85 to 55.
No, I'm talking about at the end of Back to the Future 2.
Okay, yeah. So he goes back 100 years, yeah.
Yeah. And so he's got all the parts to repair the time machine that he has. So because he's still got the flex capacitor, he just needs to make it work. And so so he's got the car. Sure, the car works, goes forward in time. You can only do that once. Doc Brown is stuck back in time. There's no way he's coming back, and that's why they should have left it. The fact that they wanted to, I reckon the studios, it needs to be a happy ending. You've got to see Doc married with kids, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah, because he can't have built a flux capacitor.
No,
this is my problem.
Yeah, and that's why the last film, the last, if you switch the film off as Marty comes back and says and hugs Jennifer, boom, film's done. You see a picture of Doc Brown with the I hope you had a happy life. I did. End.
Yeah. Can I? So you like the Back to the Future series?
Yes.
I need to do this with you right now on this podcast, on my podcast and your podcast. I have a question. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Okay. I need to use visual aids. I can't do this without visual aid. All right. Back to the Future 1. Yeah. McFly goes back in time, right? So McFly goes to the Twin Pines Mall, yeah. He meets Doc Brown. This is Doc Brown. This cup here is Doc Brown, right? So he meets Doc Brown, right? Doc Brown gives him DeLorean. Mm-hmm. McFly goes back in time to 1955 with the DeLorean, right? Doc Brown stays in the future, dead, yeah, because he got shot. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. Right? Okay, so Doc Brown's he's done, right? Your man over here does whatever he does in 1955, mm-hmm. Okay? And he then does all his shit.
Talking about a plot hole.
It's not a plot hole. Maybe it's...
Paradox.
Yeah, it's a paradox, right? So he then comes back in time, mm-hmm. right? And crashes into... He comes back to the future, mm-hmm. 10 minutes before he dies, mm-hmm. right? Which is also stupid, because you should have come back a week before he dies and just warned him then.
Well, I guess he figured that he would have enough time.
I understand.
And if he goes back too far...
But the license plate is legit out of time. Like
Sure. But if he goes back too far forward, then it may stop him going back in time.
That's also true. But mm-hmm. so hold on. Okay, right. So let's pretend that bit never happened. So he goes back 10 minutes prior to him going back in time. Okay. So he goes back and he tries to start the car. Mm-hmm. Right? And the car doesn't start. Mm-hmm. So where's that car stay? There. Mm-hmm. He then runs to the Lone Pine Mall, mm-hmm. which used to be the Twin Pine Mall, mm-hmm. after he hit the first one when he went back in time. Mm-hmm. And he runs back to the Lone Pine Mall, and the Lone Pine Mall, he sees himself mm-hmm. drive back in time.
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
And then do 1955 stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, because time is like now, there's like a paradox there. Mm-hmm. That car that drove back in time should immediately now crash into the other DeLorean that's still sitting there parked.
Not necessarily.
Okay, be with me. Like that's why I'm confused here, right? So hear me again. He crashed this DeLorean here into mm-hmm. the cinema or mm-hmm. whatever, right? He takes that. He can't start it. He runs off. So that DeLorean is now here, right? Mm-hmm. He then runs off back to Doc Brown mm-hmm. to watch himself mm-hmm. drive back in time mm-hmm. with a DeLorean, because now there are two DeLoreans, mm-hmm. right? Takes that DeLorean, goes mm-hmm. back in time. What happens to this DeLorean?
They go back and pick it up.
They go back and pick that DeLorean up?
Yeah, because...
Okay, hold on. I know what you're saying, but this is my question, right? So, in that period of time, right? So it's so difficult to understand.
Doc Brown takes it. He read his letter.
Yeah, says he read his letter, right? Yeah. So in that period of time, okay, what does the other Marty do in 1955?
He does the exact same thing.
Right. So if he does the exact same thing, mm-hmm. they're now in a loop, because here's the other thing. Here's the weird thing, right? I'll go back to this point in a second. But, right, so that car's now in 1955. He almost makes his parents never meet, yeah? He makes his parents never meet. He has to do all that shit. He has to hit the lightning, and then come back, right? Okay? Therefore, either crashing his car again, right? And then inadvertently seeing his other self with the Doc Brown who's already read the letter.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
So no. Well, this is why it's interesting, because that whole section, if that's interrupted by anyone else, it's fucked. And you're absolutely right. It's a time paradox, because that's a constant now. You can't interrupt that. So
that McFly so it's not a constant. It ends.
No, it is a constant, because if you break that chain, then I had it. You fucked it. Okay, so for instance, say like, do you know when at the end of Back to the Future 2, when Marty is waiting for himself to go back to 1985?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he saw himself, that immediately would have changed something, and he probably would have stopped and it did something else.
So in Back to the Future 2, he's entering that time paradox.
Yes and no, because
it's so confusing, right?
Yeah, because he comes after he goes back in time and then meets Doc again. So I'm back from the future.
Yeah, but we're talking about paradox in number 2. I'm talking about the paradox in number 1. The paradox in number 1.
But it's not a paradox. It's not a paradox.
It is, but it is and it isn't, right? Because it isn't, and I tell you why.
It's a constant now.
Yeah, but it's not. It can't be a constant, because
it has to be. Otherwise, it's a paradox.
No, it's flawed, and I'll tell you why it's flawed. Because if that car crashes here, right?
Yeah, right.
He came back 10 minutes.
Crashes into the cinema.
Okay,
yeah.
So he gave himself 10 minutes. So
but the thing is, remember, he reverses out of the cinema and drives up and stops and goes, "Oh my God, this is great! That tramp's there. This is great."
Yeah, and then
Then he sees the Libyans.
The guys drive past him and he tries to jump in the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to assume it takes him 10 minutes to
run to
Lone Pines Mall, right?
Right. Okay.
Because he gets there not in time.
Sure.
Because if he did get there in time, then...
Oh, yeah, he'd be screwed.
If he got there in time...
Yeah, he'd be screwed.
Right, okay, so he gets there out of time, right? He doesn't get there in time, okay? Therefore, seeing Doc Brown get shot. Then seeing himself go back in time. Then coming to the realization, like, what happens if he had got in there in time? Then it'd be 2 Marty McFlys.
Yeah, it would be... do you know what...
That's some time cop shit. Saying that I cannot occupy the same space, which is also bullshit, by the way. But that's the thing they said in Time Cop, because if you touch each other, then they fucking die. But what if he did get there in time? Then what? Oh, now you got 2 Martin McFlys. Who gets to see Jennifer? She gets awkward. Martin McFly death fight.
Okay, so what? Okay, so the fact that he has a letter on him means that.
Yeah. Here's the other thing.
That constant now is.
Here's the other thing, though.
That's his reality. But so Doc can still invent the flex capacity. Everything that happened is still relative, but the only thing that's different is that letter.
Yeah.
And
but do you know what the other creepy thing is? And this is creepy. That means that Doc Brown knows he's going to meet Marty, and Doc Brown has to pretend to never know about anything and recreate his entire friendship with Marty for however long they were friends, the whole time acting.
That's friggin' awesome.
Pretending to be something he's not. So their friendship is entirely weirder right now. And who's to say that the first time you see Marty McFly go back in time is the first time he goes back in time? How do you know there's not another Marty McFly watching that happen and then go back? But it has to be the first time because he gave himself 10 minutes. And because time is relative, in those 10 minutes, he didn't know he left, right? Remember, like, he does it with the dog? His clock is exactly whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Marty McFly crashes, reverses his car, doesn't start again. Takes 10 minutes to run to Lone Pines Mall. Yeah? He's at Lone Pines Mall speaking, he sees him drive off. Yeah? Therefore, the Marty that went back in time yeah, has to make the same decisions for him to end back in the same situation. Otherwise, if he fails, then the paradox is over, right? And the only way that can end happily the first time is that the second Marty McFly fails. But we have to assume he doesn't fail.
Right.
Yeah? So if he doesn't fail and he goes back in time and tries to fuck his mum, yeah? Then he has to then come back. But in those 10 minutes, because time is relative, Doc Brown and Marty McFly should not have had time to run back, because they don't have a car, run back to pick up the other car before the Marty McFly in the future, in the past, comes back to the future and crashes into it.
No. Not at all.
Yeah. Yes at all.
No.
What happens to the first car? Sorry. What happens to the first car? Where does it go? They don't move it. And if they do move it, that means there's now 2 Martys in that future. Because the second Marty comes back, right?
Yeah.
And then what does that Marty do? Let's say he succeeds and he has to now run back to the Lone Pines Mall, right?
No, but everything that he did in that past is still the same.
I know, but I'm losing you here. Okay, right. Okay, let's forget about the car first. Let's remove that.
Which car? Which car?
Okay.
He's talking about when it, do you know when it
crashes into the cinema?
Yeah, right? And he reverses and it's
then he sees the Libyans drive past him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh my God, Doc!" And he has to run.
He leaves it. Yeah, he leaves
right,
the mall. Takes him 10
so obviously
minutes.
he gave himself 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get there within time to drive there and be like, "Hey, Doc, I need to have a quick conversation with you about X, Y, and Z." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
you.
So he obviously doesn't do that because the car doesn't start.
Yeah.
Right?
So he
has to run
10 minutes.
for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So he has to rush for 10 minutes
Yeah.
and gets there out of time because he sees himself go back in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, right. At which point, he then runs down and speaks to Doc. Okay? Now, assuming that the Marty McFly went back in time, does the exact same thing.
Which he does.
Yeah. That would mean that he would then have to be running back to see Doc talking to Marty there and then.
Yeah, I get
Because
that.
time-wise, he's just left and it's an immediate thing, right? Because obviously he comes back straight away, technically.
Yeah.
As per his time travel techniques.
Yeah, but he has to spot him.
Yeah,
for it to be a paradox.
I understand, but for him,
he's too busy concentrating or driving the car, and there's Libyans behind him with a machine gun.
No, you're not. I know.
I know where you're going with this, but
there's no paradox.
There is. Okay, look, I'm going to start again.
They've got to both acknowledge each other.
Hold on. I'm going to start again. No, that doesn't mean a paradox. A paradox doesn't mean they have to acknowledge each other.
Well, that's
paradox
the
means
rules,
it's a never-ending cycle.
But that's the rules set up in the movie.
But it's not, because look.
Are you talking physics and reality shit?
No, I'm just talking how it doesn't work, right? And I'll explain to you again, because obviously, for the people that can't that understand me in the podcast, you know what I'm saying. For the people that don't, I'm sorry, I'm not being clear enough. Okay, I need to add more visual aids. Okay, right. So we'll try again. Okay. Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's remove that for a second, right? Okay. Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Marty goes back in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marty tries to fuck his mum. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Marty has to go back in time, right? Comes back to here.
1985,
1985, okay.
Yeah.
At which point, this Doc Brown is still here. Yeah? Okay. But this Doc Brown now has another Marty with him, right?
Yeah.
So now...
it's the same Marty.
It's the same Marty.
It can't be the same Marty because he just saw himself drive off.
It's the past Marty.
It's the same Marty.
Right. All right. Let's say it is the same Marty, yeah? So that's the same Marty McFly, yeah? Okay. So he's like, oh shit, I got 10 minutes. Oh, I can't start. He runs over, he's looking over, watches this Marty McFly go back in time and go fuck his mum, yeah? Okay, right. This Marty is now talking to Doc, same Doc, right? He's like, Doc, and he's like, oh, Marty, I read your letter, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what about displacing the whole time paradox? And he's like, oh, I thought, what the hell, yeah?
Yeah.
This Marty tried to fuck his mum, yeah? He's can't come back. Giving himself 10 minutes, car won't start, has to run over, he gets here, what did he see?
Well, he's not going to see that because...
How will you not see it?
No, because at the moment, he is now... It's a loop. It's a loop.
But it can't be a loop because...
No, it can be.
It is.
Okay, hold on.
It is a loop.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay,
but
so explain to me where the loop is.
The loop. You just made the loop.
Where does it loop?
Okay, look. Marty, he goes back in time, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, comes back.
Yeah.
Marty's here, but he's gone back in time, yeah?
Yeah.
Comes back. Yeah?
Okay,
Goes back
hold
in
on,
time.
Whoa.
Comes back.
Hold
It's a
on.
loop. It's a loop.
That Marty you've just moved has already come back from the future.
Yeah, and?
Come back to the future. So why would he is he recreating it?
Where would go
on purpose?
No. Where it would go wrong is if he interrupted himself. If he saw himself, what the hell am I doing there? He would stop.
I understand.
And
what
then
I want
he'll
to
be
know is,
screwed.
my problem here is this little bit.
I don't get what you don't get.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll explain it again.
No,
right?
you don't need to explain it again.
No, because this is my confusion, right?
Okay.
So, if Marty McFly comes back from the future,
Yeah.
and he comes back to the future,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, man, I need to go save Doc.
Yeah.
10 minutes late, yeah.
Right, 10 minutes later, he gets to go. He
goes
sees
there.
himself. He's like, no, you bastard! Gets in the fucking thing. goes in,
Yeah.
Let's see if you suckers can do 90, and he fucking blasts off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, right now
Right.
we know where we all are right now.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, right. Okay. So what you're saying is it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
I'm with you here. I'm with you.
Right, okay.
What you're saying is a cycle, right? Okay. I'm with you up until this point. The where I lose you is that as it's a cycle, that would mean that this Marty
Who's gone?
who's gone to the past when he comes back to the future would have to see, because obviously he comes back to the same place, right? He would have to see, because it's a cycle, he would have to see Marty McFly going off back in time, right? But he wouldn't, because this Marty McFly is too busy fucking talking to the doc about having the letter.
No, he's not.
He is.
No.
They're having that conversation.
No, they're not.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They're not. Okay,
No.
this is what you.
Okay,
completely-
right. Okay, I'll shut up.
Because the guy having a conversation with the letter is now this guy that just come back. It's not this guy, because this guy's the guy going.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So this guy, because
the minute this guy, hello, look at the representation.
Yeah.
Okay, the minute that this becomes that guy, yeah, he's no longer this guy. He's
Well, they
no
just
longer that guy.
change?
Yeah, because he's
it's-
gone on his journey. This
so-
guy's the guy going on the journey.
That's why I said if he interrupted him, that's when
Yeah.
he would be
Okay,
fucked.
so what
remember,
happens? So what happens to the original Marty McFly?
He becomes that guy.
Yeah.
How does he just become him?
Because he's gone
No,
back
because-
in time and done the journey.
No.
Yeah.
He can't, because he already knows he's gone back in time because he's speaking to
No,
him
he's
already.
not. Because that is this guy.
Okay, bring up the last scene of the film. Please bring up the
Yeah,
last scene.
oh, how have you not got this? Oh my god.
Bring up the last scene of the film.
Leo.
Okay, bring up the last scene of the film. Hold on. Bring up the last scene of the film. Fuck. I'm sorry, audience, but this is getting deep shit, but I need explanations on this. Are we going to get kicked off our podcast for having this playing in the background?
I don't know, man, but
Okay.
you've made your podcast very interesting.
I'm just saying something. You guys just need to listen to me.
Oh my god.
I know exactly what you're saying, but
Then why is he telling me nonsense?
no, he's not. He's speaking sense.
I am speaking sense for a change.
No, is this too far in the back? Or this is the front?
Oh, freaking hell.
Go back a page.
No, it's the end.
Down one, isn't it? That one? Up, that one. Isn't that the one?
Yeah, that's just him going back in time.
Yeah, that's what we want, right? That's the scene, right?
Yeah, but it's not the scene where he meets Doc. You want to?
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Maybe. Let me get to the end of this.
Right. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. Right now.
Okay. Yeah. So. This is 1988 now. He's just gone back.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1985. He's just gone back in time.
Okay.
We're
now watching Marty McFly. Go forward it a little bit.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's gonna happen now.
Okay. Right. So we're seeing the homeless guy on the bench, right? And he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Crazy drunk drivers.
Yeah, cinema.
Yeah. He crashes into the cinema. He reverses out.
Assembly of Christ.
Figuring out.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they're not going to put the ending on this thing.
It's not even the full ending.
Yeah, I know, but then they're not going to. That's a major plot point.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Anyway, all I'm saying is my confusion lies with the fact that the Marty McFly that is speaking to Doc Brown cannot just turn into the Marty McFly that goes back in time.
Well, he doesn't.
Because he already has the knowledge of having gone back in time.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't, because
that Marty's still the 1985 Marty.
Look at the table. Look at the table. Yeah. Okay, this guy's going back. This guy's just come in. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So follow this journey. Right. This guy.
Yeah.
Goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tries to fuck his mum.
This is now. This is past.
Okay.
This is present.
This guy goes back, tries to fuck his mum, right?
Yeah. This is now this guy. This is now this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living his life and all this shit. He meets Doc Brown. Yeah. Who is already aware that this Doc Brown exists, that this Marty McFly exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
That's correct.
Right. Okay.
Now,
so hold on. That's a really important thing, right?
Yeah.
This Doc Brown. Can you drink that, please? Just 'cause I don't want to spill it.
That's okay.
All right. This Doc Brown, right, already knows that this Marty McFly exists, and knows that this Marty McFly doesn't know that he went back in time. So this Doc Brown already knows that his time machine is going to work.
Yeah.
This Doc Brown already knows that Marty McFly is going to end up going back in time.
He knew. Yeah.
He must know because he's got the letter.
Yeah, but the thing is, Doc Brown understands that. Okay, he has to keep everything
absolutely
kosher.
But he knows.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So that's he has to keep the constant.
So the second time round. So realistically, really, they're both trapped. Because Doc Brown is trapped in a loop because he has to. This Doc Brown is paradoxical. He's stuck in a loop.
Well, that's what Back to the Future 2 is all about.
Yeah.
It's the skewing of the.
So this guy, this one who doesn't know anything about time travel and has never never seen a time machine. Right, goes back in time.
Yes.
Right. Hold on a second. Right. Now, this one, right? This is the one that
who's that?
This is the Doc Brown.
Yeah.
These guys know each other from 1955. Yeah.
Right.
This is Michael J. Fox from 1955 that had already gone back.
Yeah.
Right. So he's gotten there now, and he's watched the version of himself that doesn't know anything fuck off back in time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that now that he's gone back in time, that's a constant now. And so
okay. So all right, okay. So now that he's gone back in time, yeah, okay, and he's now talking to the Doc,
yeah,
right, okay, because obviously if this one goes back in time, yeah, he's gonna go back 10 minutes before, right, to the future. Which would mean that he arrives just about the same time as this guy arrives.
Yeah.
Because he goes back at the same time as well.
But they're not having the talk yet.
Yeah, exactly. They're not having the talk. So does that mean that these two are now like? So he's like, Marty, your future self is your
no, because
that
scene doesn't happen then.
It's all new from that point. It's all new.
It's not happened that. So that scene you're talking about doesn't happen then.
As soon as he goes back in time,
talking to me. Hold on.
So as soon as Marty goes back in time, that's the constant now. Him coming back and lawyering, want to save Doc. That's the constant now. But because Doc knows what happens, he's kept everything the same in line as to how it should be. He creates a time machine. He does the stuff for the Libyans.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It still doesn't make sense to me.
It does. It makes perfect sense.
Hold on. I'm always just wondering where the second Marty McFly, where he's gonna come back to, because if he comes back, he's gonna come back to
that second Marty McFly is now
creating a new timeline constantly.
No.
That Marty McFly is that Marty McFly. I think if he interrupted that Marty McFly, he would cease to exist.
I think the thing here is you're more concerned about when he finds out that Doc is still alive and has the letter. Is that what you're asking?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
No, but it's that. It seems to me.
No, I'm just concerned that the moment one of them goes back in time, okay, and then comes back to the future where the other one's already there, which has already happened because the first one saw the other one go back because they're both.
Well, now he's gone. Now he's gone.
Right.
And
what does this guy do?
What this guy do? He comes in. He goes, "Oh my God, Doc is dead," and then Doc wakes up and goes, "No, I haven't. Bulletproof." But bullet coat, and here's the letter.
So whilst that's happening,
this guy's no, don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about that
they're still in the car park.
They're still in the car park, but that doesn't matter because that's a continuation of this one that's just come back's adventure.
I understand.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
this one- hold on.
Shush,
But when
shush,
this
shush.
one-
Stop
but when
talking.
this one comes
Stop
back,
talking. Stop
when this
talking.
one comes
God
back,
damn it.
what's he gonna see? You can't talk over me on my podcast.
Hang on, wait. Are we on his podcast? We are
We're
on
on
his
both each other's
podcast.
podcasts.
All right,
But
cool.
Listen. This
Look,
stopped
look,
talking
look.
about movies, started talking about bullshit. It became my podcast.
No, we need to settle this. Come on.
Yeah.
We're not going to sell it. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my
to
God!
me.
How does it not? Look, listen, collaborate and listen. Shut up. Listen.
Okay.
All right. So they're having a conversation. They're having a conversation. Yeah. He's going. Look, bro. He gave me this letter. This guy. Fuck this guy. He's in the past. It doesn't matter.
You can't just erase. You can't just say fuck this guy because it fits the narrative of the argument. It doesn't make sense.
No. Yes, it makes sense because they're now in the future. He's only going to show up in the past.
What's the film called?
Back to the Future.
So what does he do when he goes back in the past? He goes.
Yeah, but he doesn't go.
Where does he go? Where does he go? Answer my question. Where does he go?
It don't matter.
Where does he go?
Forget that.
You're just erasing it.
No.
If it's your narrative, you're erasing it.
Because you're not listening.
I am listening.
You're not listening.
I've heard what
You're
you
talking over me.
said.
No, let me continue.
Go on.
Let me continue.
Oh, go on.
Okay, he's gone. They're in the future now. They're in the deep future. They're in the future.
The deep future.
Joe, you totally get what I'm on about.
I know what you're on about. Yeah.
When he comes here,
it's going to be that moment.
He's never going to come and see them. He's always going to come moments
He's always going to see that
before.
moment.
He's always going to see the moment when he goes back.
Unless someone else intervenes in that, like Biff comes back in the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2 and intervenes in that, then they're all screwed.
Yeah. He's never...
But
what?
But
they're never in the same spot.
Yes, they are.
How?
Because they're in this, they occupy the same space because at the same time one is watching the other one. Yeah, but before he goes back, he sees him go, "Dog, you bastards!" And then he gets in the car and then he drives off, which means they're occupying the same space.
No,
which means the laws of time are not applying correctly.
They're not.
The laws of time are not applying correctly to this genre. That's what I'm saying to you.
No, they're not occupying the same space.
They're in the same timeline because the moment, if he can see him, they're in the same timeline, Joe. If he can see him, he's duplicated himself because they're in the same timeline.
Okay, I get where you're coming from.
He has to be in the same timeline as him for him to see himself. Otherwise, he needs a different timeline.
No, but you don't understand.
He's future him.
That's...
Yeah, so he's future him. So, but this one then will immediately become future him as well because he's gonna have his adventure. Whilst this one's still talking to him, he's gonna come back to the Lone Pines Mall. It's a cycle, but will be broken immediately the moment the second one goes, "Hey, there's 2 of me down there, and there's 3 of me, and these DeLoreans keep stacking up outside this fucking cinema." Because he's duplicate. He has to be able to duplicate himself for him to see himself. There's 2 of them.
No,
there
there
isn't.
isn't.
There is.
Only for like a split second.
No, not for a split second. It's a good 5-minute scene.
Well, yeah, but he just watches himself go to the.
I know where you're coming from with
You
this.
get what I'm saying, right?
But
you can see my confusion. No, yeah.
Sure, but no. But hold on. Back to the Future 2 is that.
What?
There's doubles of themselves running around.
Yeah, but also the time paradox in this, the way time travel works in this movie is inherently flawed for this reason.
No, not really.
Yes, it is. It's inherently flawed.
No, because time travel isn't a proven thing, so you can't.
Yeah, but theoretically, it's inherently flawed because we can only go by.
You can't say that. Have you been back in time?
That's why I said theoretically.
Yeah, but you can.
That's why I said because everything's theory. I haven't been to the moon, but
sure.
But
I think this is why we call it science fiction.
Yeah, it's theoretically incorrect.
But no, but
I can postulate to you right now and say that doesn't make sense, and you can't. What you're saying, I can see what you're saying, but it doesn't fit the narrative of which I'm following by saying one goes back in time to come back and see himself in the same timeline because they must be in the same timeline for him to see himself. And then that one goes back in time. What does he do when he comes back? He's not going to see himself driving off again. He's going to see himself sitting in the fucking car park talking to Marty about how he still had that letter and how fucking freaky it is that he still knows about Marty and knows everything else, and he's still... That's creepy. That's creepy. That's old man.
No, you're right. I agree with everything you have to say. Can we move on now?
Let's move on.
Hold on. Can I just say one more thing about that?
I'm totally giving him that one because I just want to move on.
Do you know what I love the fact the most? That Joe was like, fuck you both earlier, and now he's like, fuck it, I'm involved because Liam's being a dickhead.
No. The fact that Doc finds out that, okay, this stuff works. Do you know, immediately after he finds that he works, have you spoken to anyone today? Yeah, he kind of bumped in his mind. So they have to sort all that crap out. And so he knows that, okay, I can't really, you can't screw the timeline. So in order to protect everything he knows, he has to keep everything at a constant. So when he does see that Marty come back, because he knows he's going back to 1985. So, okay, that Doc from 1955 knows everything that's happening. And so he tries to keep everything in line to what he thinks it should happen from what he's found out through Marty.
Right.
And so he keeps everything at a constant until he gets back to that moment. Otherwise, he wouldn't put the bulletproof vest on. That Pines Mall is the single Pines Mall now because he hit it down, and that won't necessarily change anything to do with the way Marty reacts to.
Yeah, I understand.
To anything, but that Marty that comes back still thinks. As soon as that Marty goes back in time, that whole thing is a constant now.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying, but it would be a constant if they constantly created different timelines, but they don't. Because they have to exist in the same timeline for he see himself go back. They're not creating a separate timeline. Mm-hmm. They're creating a paradox, and it doesn't make sense. But it also doesn't make sense because of the way a paradox works. It's a loop. Here's the perfect paradox, right? Mm-hmm. A paradox is can an omnipotent being who can do anything create an object he can't move?
I don't know.
Right, that's a paradox, because if a god can do anything, he should be able to create something he can't move, but then if he can do anything, he should be able to move it. Yeah? It's the same as why John Connor doesn't exist unless he sends his friend back in time to fuck his mum, for then his friend to die, for his mum to come pregnant with him, and then in the future his dad will be born again so they can be...
Don't let me get started with that time.
Okay, but that's a true cyclical paradox. That one effect creates a loop, right? That loop that can never be broken, because at no point is there a chance for the other version to interject. Right? There is no opportunity for John Connor to interject into his own creation unless he just makes a decision to not send somebody else. But he already knows who his dad is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he knows who his dad is because his mum tells him, your dad is a guy called Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese is your dad. If you meet Kyle Reese, you send him back. So the only person that can interrupt his timeline is himself, because he's the only one with that knowledge, right? But otherwise, because he knows that, he has a conscious knowledge of that information, he will send Kyle Reese back in time to fuck his mum, right? So the whole time he's befriending a dude, right, who he knows is gonna bang his mum, right? And that's the cycle. That's a true paradoxical cycle. That's a true time travel cycle, because they're not on the same timeline. But this is on the same timeline. Therefore, it becomes flawed because he can see himself drive back in time. And if they're on the same timeline, that means that Marty McFly has to come back somewhere and it's in that same place.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, we're not going to get anywhere. We've been speaking now for 45 fucking minutes.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Let's
agree to disagree.
No. I'm not gonna agree to disagree with you, because I agree with my fucking point, and you should see it my way because I'm stubborn. Okay. Let's just round it off with 20 questions and go home.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, right.
Movie news?
Movie news.
Hold on. Thingy was my other film. It was Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'll give you that. First or second, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Ghostbusters 2 was... I've watched it recently. I don't see anything wrong with it.
What's that? You love Ghostbusters 3? Thought so.
3?
You like the remake, huh? Yeah.
He's never seen it.
You never seen it?
No.
Of course you did. You loved it. I'm being sarcastic. Nobody
Did you say Ghostbusters 3?
Well, technically there is a 3. If you play the game, it is a 3. Because they
okay.
successor technically, but I didn't actually mean that. I meant
that was a good game, man.
I meant the remake. Right, should we round it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to quickly do.
What do you want to do?
Some stuff here.
Go for it.
In fact, I'm just going to do one. The James Bond 25. So Christopher Nolan's company SynCorp is producing the Bond series now. What does that mean? Could Christopher Nolan direct this? Or
you know what it means? It means dun 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 wah, dun 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 wah. That's what it means. And it also may mean, because that's what he puts in his trailers, and it also may mean that Hans Zimmer probably ends up doing the score, coupled with maybe Leonardo DiCaprio plays Bond. Wait.
Nah.
Cillian Murphy? Do you reckon Cillian Murphy can pull it off?
Nope.
Tom Hardy then?
Nope.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy won't charge Bonds now.
So basically, he's been speaking to the Broccolis then for this as his next gig. Okay, I dig it, because he's been wanting to do a James Bond movie for like his whole career.
Has there ever been an American James Bond, or has it always been English and one Australian?
There has been an American once for Casino Royale when it was a TV movie, but it's not part of the official line. So
okay, because I know George Lazenby was Australian.
Yeah, he was Australian.
That's on Her Majesty's Secret
Service,
like
right? If you're talking like proper Bonds, like these.
Well,
ones,
Sean Connery was Scottish. So.
Yeah, if you're talking about these ones, no, there hasn't been an American. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, but no, they want Daniel Craig back. They want. Does
Daniel Craig want back?
I don't think he gives a shit, to be honest. But I'm sure, like, he can be bought. He can be bought.
Everyone can be bought.
And it's not like he's doing anything really other than TV shows. So, you know.
I think to him a paycheck's just a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, like,
playing Skyfall.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, like, this is good news because it worked wonders for Sam Mendes with Skyfall and Spectre. I mean, like, you had a fan of the series that a really competent director who could do his shit, who's a big James Bond fan, go and do what he does. And I actually felt both of those movies were fantastic. I always said this on this podcast, that the Broccolis would be stupid not to learn Christopher Nolan to do a Bond film. Hopefully I get my wish, and hopefully it'll be fantastic and have good twists, and Nolan does his thing.
Daniel Craig has done 4, right? Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre.
Yeah, that's correct. So,
in that order, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Christopher Nolan's production company's got it. To me, I know some guy from Sherlock was supposed to be maybe doing this, but it should be a no-brainer now that Christopher Nolan's always wanted to direct a Bond film.
Fucking get Pierce Brosnan back.
To be honest,
have you seen him in some of the stuff he's done?
To be honest, I mean, like, the fact that they've got an A-list talent like Christopher Nolan interested, that should be enough for Daniel Craig to be lured back. I mean, like, it's not like he's working with him on any of his other projects, because Christopher Nolan is that kind of A-list director where any actor working right now would do anything to be in one of his films. So, you know what I mean? That's what I think. I think it's a ploy to get Craig in, you know what I mean, sign, continue it, and give us what we want, a decent Bond films, man. And that's all anyone ever asked for, really. I mean, you know, the fact they've got Skythorpe involved, well, they have to. If you're Skythorpe or Synthorpe or whatever his
SynCorp, yeah, sorry.
Anyway, the fact that they've got, you know, because he's going to bring his own people right to this thing, even though they've got their own thing. But I mean, yeah, it's a no-brainer, man. It should be good.
Yeah. Would you like to see Christopher Nolan do this one?
I don't know, you know.
You saw Inception, right? Did you enjoy Inception?
Yeah, but
did you enjoy the last part of it?
What do you mean?
The skiing part, because that's directly a homage to Bond.
That's Her Majesty's, right? Is that Her Majesty's Secret Service? Or
well, it's quite a few of them, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but then there wasn't that scene wasn't something I really give a shit about, because it just seemed like they're like, we just need to get to the last level, so it wasn't really like something I cared about. In Inception, the thing I cared about the most for me was that hallway fight.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty fucking impressive. There are still bits I don't understand about that movie.
I mean, I like the entire thing, but
but specifically, do I care if Nolan does it? Yeah, I mean, it might get me to watch some of them. I'm not a really big Bond fan. Like, I like Brosnan because that's the one I grew up with.
No, I grew up. If I was going to say anything, that's our generation's Bond.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan, and the game cemented that as well. It helped that there was a game. It
came out like 4 years after the film. Though.
Yeah. It came out when Tomorrow Never Dies came out.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah.
It's
2 years. 2 years after.
You know, Tomorrow Never Dies was supposed to be called Tomorrow Never Lies, but someone did a typo. The fact.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. Look it up. You have the entire World Wide Web at your fingertips. Don't.
I know. I'm sure you're telling the truth.
It's called Tomorrow Never Lies.
I will look it up though.
Yeah, and then someone did it incorrectly, and it was Tomorrow Never Dies, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, fuck it." I mean, like I said, I'll watch it. Look, depends who they get for Bond. I don't really like Daniel Craig as an actor, so I don't really have a lot of interest with him as it's stuff that he does. I don't think there's many things I've seen that I like him in. I think I haven't watched any of the Bond ones because he's in it. Like, I've seen Skyfall, I didn't like it.
Wow. Skyfall's good.
I didn't like it. But then it gets the actor. If I don't like the actor, I'm not going to watch it.
I don't like Daniel Craig, and I like that film.
And that's okay. And that's all right. I'm sure there are films that I've seen.
You must like it.
I must?
Yeah.
I don't want to be verbally raped by you today. I don't want to be verbally raped. I'm making my intentions.
I'm not
clear.
Kevin Smith, man. Jesus Christ.
I'm making my intentions clear. I don't want to have verbal intercourse with you today. Please do not force me. Oh man, don't touch me there. So I don't like Daniel Craig. So for me, I'm not really a big fan of his work.
Who do you have as Bond?
Pierce Brosnan.
Beyond Pierce Brosnan.
Beyond Pierce Brosnan. I like Tom Hardy.
Beyond Tom Hardy, because I think his time.
You can't just keep just beyond.
No, because he was up for it, and so was Henry Cavill, and so.
To be honest with you, you want my real Luther, the guy who plays Luther, Idris Elba?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Why? Because he's back.
That's
That's stupid.
I know it is, but that's why it's never going to happen.
He would be a perfect Bond.
Sure, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, but then that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see Idris Elba because he is British through and through.
Do you know what I would like to see? I would like to see an original piece, something that's like Bond, but something original with Idris Elba as a Bond-like character.
I've got it. XXX4.
No.
XXX for the Idris level because you've got what's this? You got XXX.
What's the telephone number?
Huh?
What's the telephone number?
I can't remember.
Oh god.
Telephone number.
It's a XXX thing. He hasn't seen
it. It's an area code is what it is, I think. But it's dialed this number and then Ice Cube turned up.
Are you freaking kidding me,
dude? It was
the way,
hilarious.
It was the way it was dropped as well. I didn't like number 2. I couldn't care less for Ice Cube, but the way they dropped it in that movie was so dope.
Joe,
awesome.
You look really upset right now. Trust me. That film, right? No. Okay,
it was so bad. It was awesome.
Stop doing that. Listen to what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? Okay. Did you in the early 2000s? Did you watch XXX one?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Did you enjoy it?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because it is shit.
Stop. Okay. What XXX 2?
No.
Ice Cube. You didn't like it. You didn't like it.
No.
Okay, that's okay because the second one was not very good. But you know how like Vin Diesel is like, I love family. You like that's how he's like,
I'm gonna be honest,
family all the time. The Vin Diesel family.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like XXX3. It was a guilty pleasure movie.
I liked it too.
It was like what Fast 5 was. We know what this is. Finally, we know what this is.
Have you seen the new Fast and Furious?
And it was good.
Oh my gosh! Have you seen any of them?
I've seen up till 5. Oh no, 6.
Oh, so you haven't seen the tearjerker that is Fast and Furious 7?
No.
It's good.
You should watch it. It's good. The thing is, they say, so this is something that Joe Rogan was talking about on his podcast. They said that because Vin Diesel owns he's going to be owning all the Fast and Furious franchise. He might end up being one of the richest actors in Hollywood because those films are legit. They made more than Star Wars.
No. The
first one made more than Star Wars Force Awakens.
No, that's the opening.
Yeah, well, whatever. It made more than the opening than Star Wars Force Awakens. Which is fucking Star Wars, man. Like, that's something to say. Yeah. You could say this film about
open bigger.
This syndicated movie about cars. Yeah. About cars bumping into each other, going really fast. The only thing I can't believe about that film, here's what pisses me off about this fucking movie. I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't seen it. I'm saying it anyway. Vin Diesel, Dominic Corvetto, or whatever his fucking name is, yeah? He is a grease monkey who drives cars and fixes cars in his own garage. But in Fast and Furious 8 is the world's deadliest assassin and is good with all manner of special forces weapons.
Why not?
Why the fuck not? But you know what? It works. And that it obviously must appeal to the simple-minded in all of us. Because that film made all of the money. Like,
no, you can't say that.
The last one made $1 billion. That's more than countries are worth.
Dude, once it starts making Avatar money, let's talk to me.
Yeah.
What did Avatar make? 3? 2?
No, nearly 3 billion. Yeah.
3 billion.
Nearly.
Do you think the new Avatar will make any money?
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm curious. Do you think it will?
I doubt it, but it doesn't matter.
I don't think it's going to make 3 billion, but
It probably get to close to $1 billion.
Can I ask why the Avatar made 3 billion?
Because it did with 3D what 3D was promised. It worked. It was. I
never saw it in 3D, so
it's a theatre ride that freaking works. That's all I can say.
Like everyone went to see what the big gimmick was with 3D around that time because it hadn't been in cinemas for a while. Now it's like the norm, but you got to understand, Avatar did it and did it well, you know.
Yeah, but I never saw it in 3D. I just saw it in.
It was good.
I saw it in 1080p. That was it.
I can't really suggest to you what it looks like then. But everything that popped out, and it was like, whoa. And so there was one scene in particular where there's these sky dancing things, and I don't care what anyone says. It was around me.
Yeah,
it worked.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really wish I had the chance to see it. I never got to see it. It's a real shame.
But this is what I mean. That's why people kept coming back to it because you've got to see this.
Yeah,
it works. And it was a
gimmick like that. More not gimmick. Do you think there'll be an attraction like that in the new one?
No. So what he'll do, he'll eliminate the glasses completely, and everything will be around it. Because that's what
like a 3DS style, but for the theatre.
That's what he's been trying to move towards.
But can theatres support that technology?
No. So what will happen? He'll create his own theatres because these films come out in 2020. 2021, 2022. Yeah. By the time those films come out, there's a new standard in theatres coming anyway. And once that is developed, this is the way you see films. Because you won't be able to recreate that anywhere else. You won't be able to copy it. The only place you'll be able to see it is in the theatre.
Why would you write off a film that makes $1 billion? Because it doesn't make $3 billion.
No. General.
I'm just going off the comment you made when you said,
"Why did I write it for film?" Because
we said, "Wait, talk to me when it makes $3 billion." And I was
Avatar put the bar up there. Nearly 10 years ago.
$1 billion. Like, can I talk to you about Avatar? About Avengers? Because that made what $1.5 billion?
Sure.
Yeah, that made $1.5 billion. Sure. I just had the box office numbers, but
because I think for a film to make $1 billion, that's a good thing.
Yeah, right? That is a good thing.
I'm not saying it's bad, but the bar was put high.
Do you not enjoy it because I think somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but some reviewer, I can't remember, said that this film could be nominated for an Oscar in a few of its aspects. Not
what film was this?
Fast and Furious 8.
Okay.
What aspects?
I think maybe like special effects and things like that.
No.
Again, I don't know. I'm just telling you something that I heard.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
That's the most ridiculous thing.
Mate, Fargo won fucking Oscars, and that's not a great movie.
Yes, it is.
Fargo is a great movie.
I don't like. I didn't think it was all that. I thought it was a soft. I must have been a soft year at the Oscars, '96, because I didn't think it was all that.
Oh my god, you don't like Fargo?
I cannot like a film. It's okay. Just like people cannot like Alien.
That's true.
It's okay. I cannot like a film. Look, but anyway, people said it might not get the recognition it deserves.
It's getting the recognition it deserves
financially, but not from
It's not a masterpiece in any way.
I'm not saying
none
it
of
is,
them
but there are films that have won Oscars that are not masterpieces either.
More so than Fast and Furious.
Not always.
Name one.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Bring up a list. Let's go through it. I can tell you.
Okay.
Let's bring up a list of Best Picture for the last 10 years, and I will. I don't know what they are. So this is a fresh. Hold on. This is a fresh. Hold on. Let me finish. This is
the Bondies.
Hold on. This is a test of whether or not it's worth me fucking arguing it, because and I'm gonna argue it fresh because I don't know what won Oscars because I don't read that shit, because I can't remember who it was. But a friend of mine told me you shouldn't really trust that shit because it's a group of old people, old dusty people, picking films that aren't necessarily great.
So it's mute then.
No, it's not. But I'm curious, right? So what won Oscars? Was it Moonlight?
Where do you want to start from? What year? This year. Okay.
Yeah, last year, whatever, the latest ones.
Okay, so it was Moonlight that won the Oscar.
Moonlight. Has anybody seen that? I haven't.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Is it? Do you think it's Oscar worthy? Do you think there's something better on the list?
In terms of performance, yes.
Is there anything else better on for Best Picture or Best Performance of Actor?
Best Picture. It was Best Picture. 100%.
I mean,
hold on. I get what you're saying. I just want to.
It's ambiguous to me because I'm not part of a board.
Yeah.
I can like the film. Yeah. But
do you think then the board is based on?
It's based. They select a bunch of films. I don't know. Fargo
didn't win an Oscar, but the female cop won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm sure there must have been better things that year because I watched it and I didn't think she was fantastic in that role. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
That was my personal opinion. I didn't think whatever the female actor who played the cop in that as Best Supporting Actress was deserving enough of an Oscar unless it was a slow year at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had The English Patient, Jerry Maguire, Secrets and Lies, and Shine. Shine was up for a big nomination that year.
I understand. English Patient. What? Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah, The English Patient is a good film, but I would have said it was Oscar worthy, but it won an Oscar.
I understand. I'm talking about Best Picture, right? Be careful with the wires, Sacha. Sorry. I'm talking about best for the same role. So that year, who won Best Supporting Actress?
I don't know.
I think it was 96. Whatever Fargo was in for Best Supporting Actress.
This doesn't show that. It just shows films.
Bring up on IMDb. It'll tell you the awards it won.
Fucking hell.
This is a film podcast. We've got to get our facts right?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get the movie one, not the TV show, yeah.
It's a TV show. Oh no, that is a movie.
Right, the female cop. What's her name?
I can't remember her name. William H. Macy, Kristen Rudd. Fucking hell.
No, she should be top billed.
She's not.
Hold on, folks.
I can't find her. I know that I can see the actress in my head, but I can't see her on the list.
Hold on. Right. Okay. Yeah. Frances McDormand. So there.
Where? I can't see. I can't see it here.
Oh, I brought it up on. Yeah, she should be the top one. Right underneath William H. Macy.
Steve Buscemi, Peter Stormare, Kirsten Rudd,
Frances McDormand,
Harvey Presnell, Tony Mann, Gary Houston, Sally Rington. What's her name?
Frances McDormand. Oh, sorry. Apologies. She didn't win. And this is 97, by the way. Oscars.
Yeah.
This wasn't. She didn't win Best Supporting Actress. She won Best Actress.
Right.
For the role.
Okay.
What other films were up?
You had you had The English Patient, Jerry Maguire, Secrets and Lies, and Shine.
Okay, I would have Jerry Maguire, English Patient. Those films, okay. Best Supporting Actress, English Patient. I would have given it to her. Best Actress. She would have been better. She's one of the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think the role. I personally feel the role, but then again, I'm not in the Oscars. But either way, we should call an end to this podcast.
Yeah.
Because we've been going on round and round, and people are going to think I'm an arsehole, you're an arsehole, Sacha's an arsehole, everyone's an arsehole, we're all arseholes.
I think it's just one of those podcasts. Yeah.
Well, you got emotion, man. You got emotion.
Well, yeah, I thought I could air my... From now on, I'm just going to rein back.
Why? No, you shouldn't. Fuck that. You should... I think we had a constructive back and forth, though.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, but I just said what I felt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the... I think the important thing is to be able, like, for me, if I fuck up, yeah, I will argue my point, but like I said earlier when I put my hands up, I said, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. Then I will say, yeah, fuck it, I was wrong, right? Sure,
I can admit that I'm wrong, but it was just my opinion.
Yeah.
And...
Sorry,
what? What's going on? Oh, right, she's talking to my nephew.
Oh, right, okay. Either way, we love each other very much. We're friends here.
Yeah.
Everything's all good.
Very quickly, can we just do...
Go ahead, finish off. Do whatever you want to do. We've been waiting for Sats to come back anyway.
We're just going to finish off the... okay, very quickly. Spider-Man rights, maybe going back to Marvel. Do you think that's a thing?
That's a good thing.
I mean, this was said by Dave Bautista.
Oh, whoa. Credible source.
So and that came from a credible...
Was he Batista slamming somebody at one point for that information?
Probably.
I think he was just promoting Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, after reading the quotes, I think maybe he's just assuming. I don't think it's coming from a source from anywhere other than I think he's pretty confident. You know, I think everyone's on buzz of like Homecoming now, him being back at the MCU. Sony are going to let it go like that, not unless well, we all know Disney have like $1 kajillion, right? So unless Disney like paid them bank, definitely. But Sony aren't in a position to give up those rights because they need hits at the moment.
And they're struggling. They're 90 billion, right? Or 19 million? 90 billion.
Right. Billion.
And they
9 billion.
They know they know that's the golden eggs. Same with the Bond thing because what's it?
Is that Sony?
No, well, not really. You see, MGM kind of owned the rights.
Yeah, because I thought they
50 million.
But the thing is, MGM went under.
Billion.
50 million.
Yeah. Oh. So MGM went under. Okay. So MGM went under. So Sony bought a lot of their back catalogue stuff, films like RoboCop and stuff, and made remakes and stuff. So now Sony own the rights to RoboCop, etc. But the thing is, with the Bond franchise, the Broccolis own the franchise outright. Okay, Barbara Broccoli, her father produced every single James Bond picture, and she and her half brother are basically the owners of the Bond pictures. And under her and her brother, they've worked on every Bond movie since License to Kill, kind of thing. So. And they do a good job, and they make a Bond movie, with the same people that have worked on the Bond films throughout the years, basically. So it's a tight family kind of thing. Now, they own it, and that franchise makes bank. With MGM going under, it means that they could go to any studio they like and go, hey, want to distribute the next Bond. Not we need money, want to distribute the next Bond kind of thing. They're in a position where they're like, hey, want to make our movie? And everyone sees it's James Bond, they're fools to say no. So Sony, this is a back thing, Sony basically helped, like Fox did it for Die Another Day, because it was a one option deal kind of thing. And then Sony said, look, we'll do it for the next 4 or whatever. And Sony owned the Casino Royale IP because they were novels before. So before the Broccolis got in the James Bond making biz, there was a there was a Casino Royale film made on the Sony's bandwagon, so they could make every Bond movie except for that book and except for another script, another thing basically. But all those rights were at Sony, so hand in hand they did Casino Royale. They saw the opportunity to make that.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity to reboot the series at the same time, so it kind of worked out for them. You know what I mean? So they've contractually fulfilled their contract with them as well, with that deal, and now they're like, hey, who wants to do the next James Bond? So obviously Sony are like, yo, we need to make money. Yeah, we need to make money. We can't lose James Bond. Considering James Bond's like as big a IP as Spider-Man, I say that because it's constant money and it's you know what I mean. It's a big franchise. They ain't gonna let go of the Spider-Man. There's no way. But what I will say is that as long as the Marvel Spider-Man makes bank, okay, and makes the mad money, then there'll be fools, or they're not gonna not want to hang out in a Marvel playing pit there.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It'd be foolish. I mean, I know there's some foolish moves going at Sony, but that's due to other producers that have a certain hand in certain rights. I'm talking at you, Avid Arid, with your Venom movie and your Miles Morales, CGI Spider-Man spin-off movie. That's clutching at straws, bro. You need to give up and just get with the Marvel wagon where it's good and you'll make some money. But some people are afraid to be billionaires, So, hey... but yeah, I just think, as long as the Marvel film Homecoming makes $1 billion or even 800 to 900 million, it just needs to be the biggest grossing Spider-Man movie yet, basically. And it'll make all the monies. I have confidence that it will.
So do I. Yeah, so I guess we can defunk that whole Spider-Man rights moving back to Sony. But so I'm just going to go to the film's opening this week now. So we've got Alien Covenant, and we've got another film called Away and Miss Sloane, starring Jessica Chastain. Miss Sloane is almost like a courtroom drama, but it's a political courtroom drama. It's I would show you the trailer to it, but it's
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be undertoned anyway. But and Away again, it's a British film. It's a British independent film. It has Timothy Spall in it. It's a quite intimate film as well. It's about this girl's in trouble with some dealer or something, and it's. I'm explaining this so badly, but it does actually look really good in terms of what Timothy Spall plays this father figure to this estranged young lady, and he just tries to. She brings hope back into him, and he shows her that there's a future.
Yeah.
In essence, but the real piece of resistance on this is Alien Covenant. And this is the one film that I'm looking forward to. I've been waiting for this.
When are you watching it?
I actually don't know. It's either Friday or Saturday.
What time are you Friday?
I don't know. This is what I mean. I'm
Friday
not
off?
sure. So again?
Do you know if you have Friday off?
I'm working on Friday.
Because I might watch it during the day.
I don't know what time I'm going to finish at this place because.
Shit. Yeah.
Sometimes
I know you don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes I finish at 10, sometimes I finish at midnight, so it depends. So it's more likely to be Saturday, but we'll see where that goes. But comment.
You know what? I'm standing on this, man. Any Covenant, I'm fucking totally waiting for that. Mm-hmm. I'm balls to the wall. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it on release day. It comes out Thursday.
Whatever the May 12th falls on.
Yeah. UK are really weird with their shit though. They'll show it at midnight on
that's a Friday.
On the 11th.
Right? They'll probably do that. Yeah, but I think it's officially released on the Friday, which is May 12th.
So I'll go watch it during the day in the morning, like when I finish work, and then I'll go check it out straight away.
Yeah.
I'll be totally down for that. I really cannot wait to watch that movie. Like, cannot wait to watch that film.
And so, I mean, some early reviews have come in for it, but
do you know how much I don't give a shit? Like you said it earlier, like I just don't care. I'm just gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I think
somebody said they rated it like an 8 for if you are a normal going person. Who
was that guy on the channel, right? Yeah.
Hybrid Network, I think it is.
Yeah.
He said it's an 8. I would give an 8 if you haven't seen anything else.
Yeah.
But if you have, then it's probably a bit more of a disappointment because you're expecting a lot more.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck that guy, because I had reviews like that for Prometheus, and I love Prometheus, so fuck you. I'm just gonna go watch it and enjoy it for myself.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I thought I've just now when it comes to especially films like this, when it's director has a particular path that he wants to go down. I mean, Prometheus hit a sweet spot for me because I was interested in exactly what Ridley Scott was interested in terms of what's that thing in the sea? I want to know what came out. What?
Nobody ever fucking asked that question.
I
ever.
know.
Nobody ever asked that question.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, then we're going to address that. Then we're going to address the giant sitting in a fucking chair.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Also, where is that alien?
Yeah, I think this is what that film's going to answer, because I think the planet that they go to isn't even. They're like a sub-creation of the actual creators. So I think there's another species beyond the engineers.
Did you watch? What did you do on 26th of April?
What?
Star Wars Day. What did you do on the 26th of April?
That wasn't Star Wars Day.
Well, that's Star Wars Day, Alien Day. Sorry.
I just.
26th
I was working.
Right.
I was working.
In America, it's 4. They do the month and then the day.
Right.
LV46.
Yeah.
So that was what they called Alien Day. Which I was like, hey, okay, I like that. I'll agree with that. Every day is Alien Day for me.
Well, again, everything, where he's going with this, I'm interested.
I haven't been interested. I'll tell you, I am interested that he said Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5 is dead.
Yeah,
it's not happening, which I'm okay with. I'm like, all right, fine. If fucking Ridley Scott's going to take over the whole thing, do it right, touch it, get the right guy to do it. I mean, I don't think. Could you imagine what Neil Blomkamp's fucking Alien would look like?
Yeah.
Are you interested in it?
I'm interested in the concept. I just don't want him to do it. I don't want him to write it, and I don't want him to direct it.
Who would you have taken? Yeah, because Matt Damon will end up in there somewhere, and Chappie.
that was supposed to be Eminem.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, what, in Elysium?
Yeah. He couldn't get. Eminem said no, and rightly so. And
his best film that I think he did was District 9. No, District 9. I'm talking about Neil Blomkamp.
Okay.
I like District 9 because I like the apartheid feel on that shit.
Yeah.
And I legit thought it was a sequel to Independence Day first time I saw the trailer.
No, really?
Like right at the beginning when the ship's just there, and I went, "Is this fucking Independence Day 2?" Because it looks almost the same, right?
Yeah.
And then I realised it's not. But then Chappie is like one of those films that sneaks up on you. You don't expect it to be what it's like.
Did you like Chappie?
Fucking love Chappie.
I love Chappie too.
Chappie's great.
A lot of people hate Chappie.
Yeah,
that's mainly because of
those people are idiots.
Who's the band called again? I forgot their name.
Diane.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was like, those characters are so unlikable. I'm like, that's because they're supposed to be unlikable, you know?
Yeah, they're supposed to be unlikable because it's exactly who they are. They're not acting. That's who they are.
Yeah, and
I've seen them live. I know they're dickheads.
I dug it. I really dug it. And you know what? That film introduced me to their fucking music videos. And
mate, that film. Do you know what? I like the fact that they take in the robot style from Briarios from Appleseed. I don't know if you ever watched that. It's an anime. And with the robot with he basically got 2 ears.
Yeah, don't tell me about Appleseed, man.
I don't fucking know if you know.
That's in the same world as Ghost in the Shell. It's set in the future. That's Ghost in the Shell's future.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's 300 years apart. But there's an event that happens on Earth. I think there's a 5th World War, and it annihilates everything. So at the beginning of Ghost in the Shell, it has a whole thing with No. There's like a synopsis that says that over time computers and humans become connected, but it has not yet wiped out human existence. And 300 years in the future, the population goes down to a certain number, and they create all these little hives, which are mini cities.
Yeah.
And hence Apple. That's what Appleseed is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
it.
And you've got androids and yeah.
But Briareos looks like Chappie. Like they based that, and I was like, oh, because it's almost the same design.
Yeah, I guess he's quite a big fan.
And so, and I was like, I like what you did there. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I like. I didn't know they were in the same universe.
Yeah.
Also, I did not like Ghost in the Shell. I'm so sorry.
I can understand that. It was a mishmash of the lore and what they brought to it.
Yeah,
it was.
But do you remember on this exact podcast? I remember sitting here and saying they're just gonna rehash the fucking movie.
Well, they didn't.
Do. Yeah, but they basically did. Like the mastermind, the puppet master thing.
No, they didn't even do that, right?
They didn't. That's my problem. Like they tried, kind of. I don't know what they were fucking doing. I had issues. I was watching this going.
Because they mixed the TV series. Kuze's from the Standalone Complex.
Yeah.
And the Puppet Master. If the Puppet Master existed in that universe, then it would be a one and done film, which it kind of is now anyway. Because she wouldn't exist after that first film. Because Major goes off with him.
It goes on into a child's body. Yeah.
Well,
in the original, yeah.
Yeah, and so I see they wanted to avoid that, but there's other ways they could have done that.
Yeah.
They didn't even need to touch the Puppet Master or anything like that.
Do you know the other thing is, and I'm really sorry, I'll have to say it. I know people aren't going to like it, but I didn't even think the CG was that great. There were certain parts that were good, and there were certain parts that I wasn't superly impressed with.
I liked the way the city looked.
Yes, the way the city looked, the way the robots with the masks, the way they attacked, I thought was pretty sick. But the camo suit, I was like,
no,
I've seen better.
The camo suit that's the only way you could really do that.
I know, and the thing is, I'm pretty sure I've seen it better in different films. Where the entire concept of it was about being invisible. Does that make sense? Yep. Like Hollow Man.
Okay.
You have to say Hollow Man's a very well made movie.
It's a Paul Verhoeven film, man.
Yeah, it's Paul Verhoeven, exactly. Like if you look at the way how Kevin Bacon is invisible in that film, it's really good.
But
but the whole budget is based around that.
Sure. But that camo isn't supposed to make you invisible. It's supposed to make it look like she's invisible.
Yeah, I know. So, I was just expecting it to be a lot more like
because
I just fucking wanted it to be the anime. I would have just been happy if they just put the fucking anime on there. Give it the 4K treatment. Put that on the screen.
It has a 4K.
Has it got 4? I thought it had. It's got Blu-ray. I didn't know it had the 4K treatment.
Oh yeah. Okay. Every film that gets treated now, they 8K it and then they bring it down.
Okay, nice.
So it's remastered bigger than it's brought down. So some of them aren't, but most of them are. Goes 8K, then they bring it down to 4K.
I watched the video in 10K. Yeah, it exists. There's like a.
I know 10K exists, but what would you watch it on?
Well, the video is it's a big shot of the favelas in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
And
everything's
moving, and it zooms right the fuck in. I was like, wow, the detail is ridiculous. Like it can't show the whole image.
Yeah,
it has to show it in segments.
Yeah, it would have to because
it's so large. Yeah, I mean it does show it, but it looks so much going on.
Yeah,
because it's so detailed, so they need to then zoom in to show you what the fuck's actually going on.
Right.
And it looked really good, but yeah.
Well, anyway. Alien Covenant.
Yeah. I know we tangent. I do this. I'm sorry. I love Alien Covenant. I cannot wait for it. I genuinely cannot wait. The other films I don't really care about. I don't go to the cinema very often anymore. I wait for home releases and I watch them at home in my comfort of my own home. I'm really upset that I haven't seen Power Rangers yet.
You need to go.
It's gone now. So
Is it gone?
It's gone. Yeah,
I don't think it's gone. I think it's on limited showings.
I'm just gonna catch it when it comes on home release.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Dude, I was watching Power Rangers.
I
with my
watched
kid
it.
This
I'm
morning,
gonna be honest.
friend.
I watched it and I thought it was fucking great.
Okay,
cool. It was a good watch.
Good. All right. So anything else?
No. That's it. I'm gonna end it.
Fucking 3 hours and 7 minutes, man.
Yeah, I know.
I think
we broke Mel's record.
Broke Mel's record.
That's because we were arguing about Back to the Future for so long.
Yeah.
I actually like that argument.
Yeah, well, good. Keep it. We should. I want to. You know what I want to do, Joe? Just me. Well, I mean, Satch can obviously. I don't know how Satch cares. But you remember when we did one on Prometheus? Just me and you.
Oh yeah, that was
right.
yeah.
Okay. We should do one on.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
We do one when it comes out.
Yeah.
Following on the Sunday. Before you guys record this, I can come around, just record that, and then go.
Okay, I've got Clear Winter coming around next week.
I don't know what that means.
Clear Winters?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you said Clear Winter. I went, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Claire. Oh yeah, I love Claire. Claire's awesome. She's been in my park. She's like episode 4 or something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, Claire's awesome. Super hot.
Kooky.
She heard it. She can hear it now. She's gonna bring her boyfriend Leander. Her boyfriend Leander. She's bringing him as well. He's like a band guy. I think he's got a
No idea. I asked if she could come on. I didn't ask for.
She's awesome. She's cool. Is she coming here? Were you going to her?
I hope so.
I went to hers. It was cool.
Oh really?
Yeah, I recorded.
I did ask her if she could come here, and she said yeah.
Yeah, I recorded at hers. It seemed easier.
Oh,
I drive, so I just drive to
I've
location.
got stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just got a phone. Anyway, guys, are you happy to end here?
Yeah, just tell them. Oh, yeah.
Fucking people know my shit, man. What's the damage at gmail.com. Find me on iTunes. You'll find Zedos Gang stuff.
No, that's my job.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna, because this is on my shit too, you know?
Oh,
like,
okay,
it's
fair
funny.
enough. Yeah, but remember, we're on the same podcast, so I can say it when I say it. Go on.
You know, I'm just so used to, like, because I'm your guest and you're my guest, and it's just really weird.
We're
right?
both
I'm
your
just
guests.
everybody's guest. So,
That's fine.
You know.
All right, okay, well,
your
listen, I tell you what, how about I do yours and you do mine?
No, you just do both of mine.
Okay, so...
No, both of ours even. So.
Okay, you'll find... fuck, you do yours, I don't remember. You'll find me, What's the Damage podcast on iTunes. I don't post on YouTube anymore because fuck, that's too long until I start doing videos, which I am doing.
No, do it, man. Look, I'm telling you.
We'll talk about it in a sec.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And then you'll find me on Stitcher, on iTunes, and on SoundCloud. And that's where you'll find me. Perfect. And then anything else, you can catch me on Gmail, and we go from there. Perfect. And then you got your man, Satchman Free.
Yeah, Satch.
Yeah, you'll find me on Sashman3 on Twitter. Please don't add me on Facebook because I tend not to add people I don't know, but follow me on Twitter. And check out my short films on my YouTube, Sacha Allari, and check out my latest short film, The Little Guy Again.
You'll also find him on Satchman4, because that is YouTube/Satchman4. That's what your page is on YouTube.
Is
Sacha,
it?
Yeah.
No,
Check it out.
Sacha Allari.
No, if you type in for www.youtube, or just type in, go to his page, right? Type in Sacha Allari, and if you look at the hyperlink at the top, it's Satchman4 or
Is
4.
it Sashman4?
Yeah.
Okay, well that too.
I know because I copy and pasted it the other week
Okay.
onto the link on my other podcast.
That's where it was Sacha
my other
Allari.
episode.
Alright, fair enough.
And
Well, anyway,
Zedos Gang, where will you find them?
Oh yeah, you're right. Satchman 4.
That means there's a 1, 2, and there's a 1 and a 2 somewhere, Satch.
Zedos Gang, you will find on YouTube. Just bring Zedos Gang. You will also find it on Twitter, and you will find it. That's about it, really. Oh yeah, there's Google Plus as well. I mean, there's a page there, but it's not really used that much. We're also on Stitcher Radio, also on SoundCloud, and we're also on what's the other one? iTunes. And so, yeah, man, hit it up. It's great. You will love it. It's brilliant.
Cool. You'll hear us arguing.
But yeah, man. It's all good.
All right. Love you, motherfuckers. See you later, mouth breathers.
Okay, and that's the Zedos Gang Podcast, and we're out.